What's up, guys? Welcome to the first ever episode 184 of the Kind of Funny Gamescast. As always, I'm Tim Gettys, joined by the Reverend Jared Petty.
Dokie dokie, glad to be here.
And joining us once again, Game Explains, Andre Seegers.
Thank you for having me.
We had to have you for this episode because we are doing something very special today. This is the Smash Brothers Ultimate Bets and Predictions episode extravaganza. We're not going to do the normal format of the show where we talk about what we've been playing and all that stuff. It's just making Smash Brothers predictions, talking about everything that we've seen so far and how hyped we are and all of that stuff. I am very excited to do this episode. I feel like we have a great set of gentlemen here to talk about all of this stuff. But please follow along in the show. Leave comments below for characters you want to see, predictions you have. I'd love to read them and interact with you guys there. But this is the Kind of Funny Gamescast each and every week right here on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. We get together, talk about video games, all the things that we love about them. You can get the show early by going to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. And for just $1, you can watch live like a whole bunch of people are right now. Or for a couple more dollars, you can get the show early as a video or a audio. And there's a whole bunch of other perks on patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. Right now, our fan mail tier is this beautiful picture signed by Nick Scarpino, the champ. Jesus Christ.
That's amazing.
How much does this bother you?
Both a lot and not as much as I feel like it should, probably.
Exactly. Did you guys interact a lot at IGN?
Oh, yeah. He sat right on the other side of the cubicle for me, or a little bit in that general area. So, yeah, he was there the whole time I was at IGN for 2 years.
Did you partake in the Smash Brothers shenanigans with him during the glory days?
So yeah, so not only there's two sets of shenanigans. I'd say there was a tournament which I won, and then there was the daily shenanigans we had where that guy would just use pit constantly, firing off those stupid fucking arrows.
Nothing's fucking changed.
Scarpino method,
You just occasionally stand in the corner going,
It's
to
so
irritate
bad,
you.
dude.
That just took me back 2 years, or like 10 years, right there.
Shout out to Patreon producers. We got 3 of them this week. Warren Moore, Eric Heitz, and Tom Bach. Thank you very much for everything that you do for this show. Let's get right into it, though, guys.
All right.
Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Yes.
Where is your guys' hype level at for this game? And also, how much have you played of it so far?
So I've played, I think, about an hour, maybe hour and a half, which is not nearly as much as I'd like to. And unfortunately, one of our coworkers, Ash, he's played way more than I have. Like he was sitting at the VIP area of the tournament during E3, and he got like 3 or 4 hours while there. So I'm so jealous of him. But my hype is probably at 9.5, I'd say, like out of 10. I am stoked for this game, and it's only going up. That last direct fucking killed it. It delivered. I think like looking back now, I'm like, oh yeah, I guess E3 wasn't as good. I mean, I thought E3 was amazing at the time. Looking back, I'm like, this direct is where it was at.
Totally.
It just blew it out of the water for me. So.
I feel like this direct really gave us a good idea of. So the E3 really said, look, everyone's here. That's what we're going for. This is the ultimate Smash Brothers. But this direct was like, no. It's not just a compilation of sorts. It's not just the greatest hits. It is a lot more than that. And even in the E3 direct, Sakurai said that there wasn't going to be too many new characters. But I feel like he's already proving that wrong.
Yeah.
He definitely already is. Yeah, but yeah, E3 set the groundwork, and now with the direct, they built the house on top of it. So.
Jared?
My hype's probably about an 8.5 right now. I am right now the filthy casual amongst the true experts. I mean, you two are Smash aficionados. You eat, live, breathe, sleep, and die by it. It is the thing. I love Smash. I love Nintendo history. I love couch competitive games.
Yes.
And Smash is among the best of those. It accommodates practically any size crowd. You can have fun with 2 people. You can have fun with 8 people. I love that about it. I love that it takes something I have a lot of nostalgia and affinity for and allows me to mix and match pieces of it however I want. I love that it's just as casual as you want it to be, that you can go full items and goofy stages, or that can turn into a refined pseudo-fighting platformer game. I love all those things about it. I've been a fan of the series since the very beginning when the first one came out, played the heck out of it, played them all, love it, but I'm not you guys. I am the casual, interested audience. It will be my December game. It will be the game that I'm playing over Christmas break when I have to put Red Dead down for a while.
Yeah.
And it'll be the game that I have people over to my new apartment just to play. That's where I sit on it right now. For me, Smash is all about what's going to happen. Where will they go next? I love fanboy pandering and indulgence. I really do. At Smash Brothers isn't just about that, but that's a big part of it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And it does it better than most games.
Yes.
Like Sakurai, when he when he wants to add a character to a game, it's like he researches that character.
Oh yeah, like every move is from something, is referencing something else. Like it's not just the character, it's the stage, the music, the items, like everything going into it.
I'm more excited about this one than anyone I've been since the original Smash, and I was pretty hyped up for Brawl. But I'm especially hyped up for this one because Sukapon's finally in it, and that's all I've wanted. That's all I've wanted for longer than I can remember.
I don't think that I could ever be more hyped for a game than I was for Brawl. Like Brawl, it felt like at least there was such a long gap between Melee and it coming out.
It was.
I mean, that was 6 years,
7 years, I think.
7 years, maybe.
In 2001, 2008.
Yeah, exactly. And like that felt like such a long time. And I guess from 2008 to 2013 was a long time too.
It was.
But like Brawl felt, I think, a bit more modern at the time. And it lasted longer of us playing it at least. So for Brawl, the way that they had the dojo and like every night some new announcement, like you can't really match that. And I feel like even now the hype, like there is new stuff every day, but really it's kind of like it's assets that you could find online already.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? For the most part.
Yeah.
Every once in a while there's like some cool new music or something.
And Brawl took the accessibility even further. I mean, no self-respecting player that's going to dedicate themselves to mastering the game was going to play with the simplified control schemes. But you really could get people into the game just by tossing them a Wiimote and being like, no, I'll teach you to play this. And they could jump right in with that simple interface and get a feel for what the lower level play in the game was like. And then as they got into it, out came the Wavebirds and in came the new players. Also, even in its own primitive way, I played a fair bit of that game online. And that was a big deal that you could play Brawl. It did work. I mean,
it worked.
It did work. It didn't work well, but I was just so happy to have it there. I mean, this is obviously fighting game. Distance play technology has come leaps and bounds since then. But I did play quite a bit of that online with friends, especially.
My biggest concern going into this Smash Brothers was that, like, I was hoping it was going to be a port of Smash Wii U.
I think we talked about that even.
Probably, because I was like, there's no possible way we're going to get a sequel that has all the characters. We're going to lose Ryu. We're going to lose Cloud. Who knows who else we're going to lose? And so for them to just kind of have the mission statement be like, no, we're going to make this the, like, kind of love letter to Smash Brothers, which is so funny that Smash Brothers itself is kind of a love letter to Nintendo, but it's now the franchise has its own history enough that it needs to like reference itself.
It's a love letter to itself. Exactly.
And it's just, and I love that there's so many little quality of life changes they're making to this, like finally being able to set your own rules so that like you don't need to start on time matches. Like that's such a small change that is going to affect so many people so much. But even just looking at the menu, it's just like so much cleaner and so much like they're listening to the feedback on pretty much every level, both from a what characters do people want to see, but also from a like how do we just make this the ultimate Smash Brothers game?
Yeah, that's totally it. I think even just today, a new column came out from Sakurai where he explained some of the recent decisions, like including Echo Fighters and King K. Rool. And one of the things he commented on was he was surprised by the amount of demand for King K. Rool based on the ballot they had back for Smash Bros. Wii U and 3DS. So that was a big driver into getting him in the game. And I think, as you said, he's basing so much of this game on the feedback. This really doesn't be the ultimate Smash Brothers, not just in bringing everything or most everything from the past in, but just in reacting to what the fans want.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, like if this game lets people down, like it's like, what were you expecting? Like, what more did you want from those guys?
Well, they've never. I mean, yes, we found nitpicks before, but they've made 4 of these things, and they've all been great.
Debatably 5.
Yeah,
like if
4
you
and
count
a half.
the 3DS
Okay,
as
4.5 of these things, and they've all been great. There have been things about every one of them I would change, significant things, but none of them kept me from loving these games. So it's nice to go into a series and be like, there has not been one serious misstep. And I understand some people are going to take issue with that statement, but I think it's fair to say that all of these are standout games in their generation. Every single one, no matter how frustrated you might be by tripping or the fact it's a little harder to pull off a smash on your 3DS, they're masterpieces.
I mean, I feel like it's safe to say that everyone's bottom of the list would be Brawl or 64, depending on your.
Oh wow, that is the exact inverse of my list. The 64 and Brawl are at the top of mine.
I love Brawl.
What? What's the bottom?
Oh,
then?
I
love Brawl.
I think
Is
that
Melee the bottom of yours? You
it is actually.
What? How?
Straight up, yeah. I
Oh
went
my
back
God.
once Melee came out. I played at E3 a whole lot, and I thought, right, dude, thank you, man. You know, we need to stick together,
Tripping balls,
right?
dude.
I'm glad you had me on there.
We had to hug. That was just. I'm sorry for the
We had
interruption.
to bond, that was a bonding moment.
That
I feel
was.
like I instantly know who you are now.
Yeah, totally.
No, like with Melee, like I had fun with it. I especially enjoyed it at E3. That was my first E3 when it was revealed in 2001. But once I got used to the mechanics or started understanding the mechanics, I'm like, I don't quite like how this plays. So I went back to 64, and it wasn't until Brawl that actually got really pulled back in the newest installment. And I think Brawl gets unfairly shat upon, like especially for its time. Yeah, I mean to be fair, having at the bottom of your list is still really high up in yeah. But like I felt like that was just an extremely ambitious game for its time. It set much of the groundwork for where the series would go, including third-party characters and things that the series hasn't attempted since. Maybe being story mode, for instance,
see.
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I love Brawl, even with tripping. I actually had no problems with tripping.
Neither did I.
Hey, all right.
It's a game about toys that you knock off platforms. Melee is a masterpiece, but my problem with Melee is probably more metatextual than it is actually a problem with the game. My problem with Melee is what we have made it in the popular narrative. It's the pure one. It's the game for people who are serious about Smash Brothers. There's a difference between loving Smash Brothers or being good at Smash Brothers or being dedicated to Smash Brothers, all of which I think you guys are, and being serious about Smash Brothers. And as much as I tease you, Tim, I don't think you're actually serious.
Definitely not. And that's my thing is.
And that's, I think Melee played into that more, and I don't like that part of it.
Yeah, I appreciate that part of it. I'm not good enough to play at that level, so it's like I'm definitely not on that side of the Melee thing. To me, I would say that Melee is the best one based on its modes, based on the decisions it's made. Adventure mode was actually fun, and Subspace Emissary in Brawl, I loved it because of what it was. But that was just because I loved the cutscenes and I loved the stupid reasons to get everyone together and the dumb twists and things. The gameplay really sucked in that. And it was similar to Adventure Mode, but I feel like Adventure Mode was tighter and smaller. But I feel like Melee did such a good job of having custom break the targets for every single character and having an amazing event mode. It was just a tighter package. And I feel like Brawl was so ambitious and it kind of hit that museum level for the first time, where it's like it's gonna be about the history of Nintendo. We're gonna have a ton of remixes of songs. We're gonna have a ton more characters. We're gonna have a ton of modes that are of varying qualities without any focus on good quality modes.
To use an analogy here, and tell me if I'm off base, but I think that in this series, Brawl might be the Street Fighter 2, but or pardon me, Melee. Melee might be the Street Fighter 2, but Brawl is the Marvel versus Capcom 2. And it's just a big, glorious mess. And I love it for that.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that analogy, but yeah, I mean, I love Brawl. And the thing is, I probably put more time into Brawl than any of the other Smash games. Just
I
because,
think I did too.
Just for how long we played and us playing at IGN and all of that. But yeah, there's just something about Melee that I just feel like was a lot more focused. And I mean, even just look at the soundtrack, right? Like we're looking at Smash Ultimate now. It's like over 800 songs. And it's like, that's insane. And there's going to be so much cool stuff there. I love even just getting people that have never worked on a franchise remixing music from different things and stuff. That's cool. But when you listen to the soundtrack to Melee, it was like, majority of it was like orchestrated, and there was like a real focus on. It was quality over quantity.
Do you think there'll be a Smash 5 LP release for like the ultra hardcore elite, like 100 pressings? It's just like 100 records in a row that you buy in one container.
Like here's the entire soundtrack.
Yeah, on LP. Like
Jesus
I like
Christ.
that on
That would be
vinyl.
insane.
I wonder if they'll do that. That seems like the kind of thing that 100 rich people would buy. I don't know.
Oh man. So who are your mains in Smash Brothers?
So my mains are, I have a couple, I think. Game & Watch has historically been, like, since Brawl, he's been my main go-to, I'd say. Before that, before that was 64 and Melee, it was Pikachu, and I still go to him every now and then. And then I also picked up Mega Man a bit. So those are my three kind of go-tos, but I try to mix it up. Like, I'll play random quite often just to try someone out. Yeah, exactly.
I play a lot of Kirby. I really like Kirby. I understand he's hardly a power player, but I like that little malleable pink ball, and I like just being him. I play a fair bit as Fox. I enjoy the way Fox feels, and I enjoy the ability set. I feel like there's a lot of complementary stuff there that just about anywhere I'm standing at any moment, I can find something effective to do without just leaping in and trying to change my situation. I can react as Fox, and I like reacting in that kind of game more than I like being proactive. Fox is a great reactive character. And then I really do just love about once every 10 games picking one of the 4 people I'm playing with and deciding to be their Jigglypuff tormentor and just not trying to win and being an asshole and trying to get close to them as Jigglypuff as often as possible just to make sure they don't win. I really get a lot of joy from that. So that's probably my 3.
In 64, I used a lot of Link and Samus kind of trading off there. Melee, I was straight up Roy. Roy's our boy. And then Brawl is when I feel like I was the most serious about trying to be competitive. And Ike and Zero Suit were my 2 mains that I would just switch off between. I didn't love what they did with Zero Suit in Smash Wii U. Like, they changed a lot of her moveset. I liked her whip as her up B and just the different ways to use it. And so she became less and less of someone I go to. But in Wii U, I don't have a specific main. Like, I jump around between a group of maybe like 10 different people. But, it's still pretty much any of the Fire Emblem characters with the exception of Robin. So any of the sword-based Fire Emblem people. Still Zero Suit, and Bowser Jr. is another one that I use a lot.
I lost my main from Brawl.
As Wendy, of course.
No, I lost my main from Brawl because I played a Snake a lot in Brawl. I really liked Snake. I thought it was fun. Now I've got him back, so that's very exciting. And a lot of Rob back in the day, too. I forgot that.
Oh, yeah, Rob.
I liked Rob. He's not good, but I like him.
Yeah.
He's kind of terrible, but I really like him.
So now getting into some predictions and stuff going on for Smash Ultimate, I want to start off with, we're going to go around the table with our 3 most desired dream characters.
Oh, man.
Andre, hit us off.
Are we going?
Let's go 1-1-1.
Okay, all right. So that means I'm starting off with number 3 here. So that would be my number 3, which is going to be a surprise to a lot of people, not because of what it is, but because of it's not my number 1. Stunt Race FX car, or more specifically, the Stunt Race FX truck. I want that blue body truck with the giant eyeballs. I want them in Smash.
Oh my god.
We've never had a true vehicle character in the game. It would be a trendsetter.
Bowser Jr., kind of.
Kind of. He's like a middle ground.
So like from Fighters Mega Mix, where you're fighting the Daytona car, except it's, oh wow.
I want that in Smash Brothers. That poor series did not get the respect, or I say series, it's one game. That poor game does not get the respect it deserves. The only representation it's had in any Smash game to date has been as a single sticker in Smash Brothers Brawl.
And stickers are like the least representation.
No, you might as well not represent the character.
Yeah,
like, it's a slap in the face in a way. Yeah. So that's what I want. I think Sakurai could come up with a pretty unique moveset, especially if they base it around, I don't know, maybe like the FX chip or like the more polygonal nature of those series, of those, of that generation. That's what I want. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
What's your number 3, Jed?
So since I'm getting Sukapon now, who should be a fighter, but I'll take him as an assist trophy. There's Dare to Hope. But I've got him now because Nintendo's original fighting game character deserves some love, and he's finally showing up. But for me, I want to, specifically with Echo characters becoming a big thing here, Echo fighters, I want the Oendon and the Elite Beat Agents.
So Elite Beat Agents were my number 4 on my list.
All right, so I want the Oendon and the Elite Beat Agents as one echoing the other.
Here's my thing. I would say not Echo. They would just be alts. They would be like Olimar and Alf.
You think so?
Or
you don't
like
want
the Koopa Kids. I don't think that they would need to be.
See here, I like that, but I want there to be a little bit of an echo there for a very specific reason. I want to be able to use different musical selections based on Japanese and American music that provide different powers and different things happening when you do that. So like when you're the Elite Beat Agents, you can in fact summon like some girl's dead father's ghost. To come beat, and I mean that.
Everyone starts crying.
Like, yes, everyone starts crying and comes and kicks the crap out of everybody.
Yeah.
Whereupon, when you're playing as the Oendon, maybe you have like a different J-pop themed thing taking place, and just switch those off.
Avril Lavigne's there for the Elite Beat Agents.
Yeah, I have a switch out, and I do like the idea of it being all 3 of them. Ice Climber style. All 3 of them traveling together and fighting as a group. I don't want it to be one. And I want the smash or one, grab the smash ball. I want it to be kind of like what you got when you played Michael Jackson's Moonwalker on Genesis, where everyone on the stage has to start dancing, and then there's a calamitous effect for your enemies.
I love it.
I think that would be a really fun kind of dream thing to do.
That'd be amazing.
You like that?
Oh, yeah. I love it. Yeah,
I'm sure that one's made because they did show up as trophies. Like they have been around before. Both they were trophies. So why not?
My number 3, and I know this is blasphemy, utter blasphemy, but I just want it to happen.
Is it
just
Shadow?
Well, no, it's not. Just to break the internet and like just see what happens here. And let's just take a step back here. Let's go back in time. Do you guys remember the day that Cloud was announced in Smash Brothers?
Yes.
Of course.
I will never forget.
Who can, yeah.
Being like, what? They can do anything. There are no
Yeah.
fucking rules. Because of that, I'm going to say it. Goku.
Oh,
that's perfect.
Snap. So a lot of people come back with that. He's not a video game character.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why this, like, but Cloud was not on a Nintendo console. Like, if we can take it one step further of just like, fuck it, who gives a shit? He's requested, people want him, that'd be nuts.
And Goku has been in video games. He's been in plenty of video games.
Including that one coming to Switch very soon, right?
Yeah, Fighters,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's it.
But Sakurai did say, and not that his word is gospel at all, but he did say that on the ballot at least, the characters had to originate from a video game.
Right.
But the ballot has nothing to do with Smash Ultimate. So we'll
point.
see. That's my number 3.
Oh, man.
What's your number 2?
My number 2 actually brought a visual aid for this one.
This is exciting.
Here we go.
All right, what do you got?
This is the suspense.
What do you got?
There we go.
Banjo-Kazooie.
There we go. So, what do you guys think the likelihood is of this actually happening?
I hate that stupid bear and I hate that stupid bird. So I just want to believe that neither one of them's ever going to happen.
I'm sorry, we can't hug ever again.
Okay.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's-
crazy
that's-
maniac.
Yeah,
We're not
that's-
friends anymore.
No, I think that maybe 40-60. They know people want it. They know in particular, the Western audiences and the European audiences would eat it up. And they like money. So if they can find a way to make it all happen, it'll happen. It's just a 40% chance.
I feel, and something that we're going to bring up a lot in the show is the basic rules that Sakurai has set in terms of trying to find patterns of what characters get in. And the one thing that hasn't been broached is the Western third-party characters, right? Or really Western characters at all. Dark Samus is probably the closest we've seen, and even that's kind of a stretch. So with this, I really feel, and I've been predicting that there's going to be some type of Microsoft presence in Smash Ultimate because of how close Nintendo and Microsoft have been, like, playing nice together at the very least. But having said that, I just still don't see Sakurai listening to that,
Right.
So my thing is, I do think that there's a good chance, but my question is it Banjo-Kazooie or is it Minecraft Steve?
That's the thing. Only one of those would really garner hype among, I feel like, the hardcore fans. But I do think, if it were ever to happen, now's the time. Microsoft and Nintendo's relationship is probably the strongest it's ever been. And they've kind of worked together in a roundabout way before, too, with Diddy Kong Racing, for instance, on the DS, which is made by Rare while they were owned by Microsoft. And they have gotten closer recently with Minecraft being on Switch, with them having cross-play on, I guess, between Fortnite and also Minecraft, I think. Maybe, I don't know, can you bring a save file from... I have no idea how that works. But my point still remains. They're just close. If there were a time for it to happen, it'd be now. And I think Banjo-Kazooie would break the internet as well in a way. So.
I don't think either of these would be nearly as internet breaking, but I think there's a tiny, tiny chance it would happen. I'm just pulling this out of my butt here. It's obvious that people inside Nintendo have a lot of love for Portal. You see it all over the place in the things that they've done. You've got the blue and orange lighting in Breath of the Wild that's obviously inspired by it. You see it everywhere. As much as we love this character and as much as we think about the possibility of Steve, when we're talking about things that we've seen a kind of a hint of affinity from inside that company, a lot of ideas taken pretty liberally from Portal. I could see Shell popping up as a Western character.
That'd be nuts.
Yeah, I could. And the ability.
I think that'd be super cool as a character. I do not see that happening.
I know we don't, but we
less
often
likely than Goku.
But we often don't see these things happening, and that's somebody that it's obvious Nintendo has a lot of internal talent admiration for. And if you're going to do a Western, what if we were talking about who we like? If they said, who do we love? That might be where you go.
Taking a step back, I was just talking about the Western developers and stuff and mentioned Dark Samus. K. Rool is also Western.
Yeah, K. Rool and Diddy.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird mix because of Donkey Kong. But I mean, Rare, so...
Good point. So we have precedent now.
We do have precedent, but no Western third party. That
true,
is the difference there.
And you just had to find a way to get Diddy into this discussion.
Oh, he's going to come back. He hates Diddy Kong.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Well, he's going to hate...
Quite disdain.
I don't know how you'll feel about one of my Echo choices then.
Oh, no.
Go for it. Number 2, Jared.
All right, so number 2 for me, this was a hard one. Getting this down to 3 was painful. But if I'm going to bet on things I actually think are going to happen, I think there's a really good chance that Chie shows up in this game. I think that the likelihood of a Persona 4G re-release on Switch is fairly high in the next year or so, maybe 2. Atlas and Nintendo have a great relationship, and they have a long history of working together. Chie is already a fighting game character. So you've already got, she's a martial artist. She's in an RPG, but she showed up in plenty of excellent fighting games. And she's a natural fit for that aesthetic. She's bright, she's colorful, she'd have a very unique moveset. She's a popular character with fans of Persona. So I think Chie would be a superb pick and actually fairly likely to happen. I'd be shocked if we don't eventually see P4 in its portable form and on Switch in some kind of remaster.
I definitely don't think it's likely to have her.
No?
There's a chance, but I would say that is a slim chance.
I would say the 3 predictions I'm making, she's the most likely. I really actually think she is she's not like a huge deal, but she fits in that sweet spot of what works. If you look at the history of how, again, think Japanese-centric for a second, what games are elevated, what companies are revered in the circles that Nintendo runs in, she's going to be a character that absolutely came up in conference room discussions about whether or not we can swing this. I believe that.
So my number 2 is probably the least likely out of anyone that we're going to say today. But would also be the most fucking hype thing of all time. It can't happen because of licensing and because of Western stuff and also just a whole bunch of other issues. But can you guys fucking imagine if we start seeing a Smash Bros. Trailer and any character's just walking, there's a bullet that just goes, the screen turns into a circle and starts moving around, and it's fucking James Bond.
Holy shit.
That'd be amazing.
That would be huge.
Would he be all pixely?
I want him to be Polygon, Pierce Brosnan. I want it to be James Bond from GoldenEye 64.
Does he have the Alpha Channel smear?
Hell yeah. Okay. But how amazing would that be? And there's no fucking chance, but Sakurai wanted to get James Bond in Smash 64 back in the day.
And Smash Brothers Melee, this is a loose connection, even it had that remote mine or the proximity mine, which was a reference to Perfect Dark, I believe, which was a pseudo-sequel to GoldenEye.
So for that to make it a little bit more likely, I'll take Joanna Dark. I would rather James Bond, but I understand that they can't. Dude, there's just no way. There's no freaking way.
It would be unreal.
Unreal.
What if he had an Oddjob Echo?
Oh my God.
he's just the same, but he's harder to hit.
Yeah. What's your number 1?
My number 1 is Gino from Mario RPG.
So here's the thing. I'd be willing to bet Gino's going to be in this game.
Yeah?
I think so too. I think because we've seen a precedent for this now, kind of in a way, with some of the Mii costumes that came to Smash Bros. Wii U in the form of downloadable content, including Chrom and King K. Rool.
So
both now characters.
Later on, when we can start going through other just random characters and talking about their probability, I made a list of assist trophies and Mii fighter costumes that are evidence one way or another for characters. And you're right. Gino did have a Mii costume.
That's it.
And that shows that not only was Gino on the ballot, but Sakurai knows there's an interest for Gino. And he's one of the few characters that have been talked about since going into Brawl that isn't here yet.
Yeah.
And with K. Rool being here, with Ridley being here, it's just
Cloud.
Gino and Cloud. Gino is one of those few characters that is they've been talked about consistently for over a decade.
Isn't it great to live in an era of anything is possible?
We
got a Windjammers 2 announcement this week. Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
That's good though. But I do think that there is I would say 90% chance of Gino. Maybe 85.
I like those odds, so I'll go with it. Yeah.
So number 1.
I almost said what I think it's likely. I don't actually know. I cannot believe that Slime from Dragon Quest is not already in Smash Brothers, one of the most popular video game series in history in Japan. Again, good relationship with Nintendo, perfect aesthetic fit. You could do some really cool moveset stuff around Slime. Rocket Slime gives you a lot to build on there. Square Enix and Nintendo's relationship, etc. I think Slime makes it in, but like I said, we live in a world with Windjammers 2. We live in a world with a sequel to Dragon's Trap. We live in a world where Grandia is coming to Switch. In a world where anything is possible, my ultimate dream would be to have Mikey from Konami's versus the Goonies, published by Nintendo. Mikey the Goonies character in video game form, appear in Smash Brothers.
You're a dreamer, my friend. You are a dreamer.
I want
respect
that digitized version of Good Enough to play in the background. Mikey has appeared as a guest character in games outside the Goonies. He appeared in YY World, the Konami All-Stars game on Famicom.
Classic.
Yeah, well, classic over there, not here, but it never came out of here. But he's actually like in a game with switchable characters. There's a game with like Mikey and Simon Belmont running around together. That exists in the world. That would not be the first time they appeared together in a series. Simon, exactly. So that's where this came from. I was like, this is the most unrealistic thing possible. On top of that, it's a Steven Spielberg property, which makes it impossible to touch. No one would ask for it, but
most people would be confused.
Yes, but that's my ultimate dream. I want Mikey from the Goonies in Smash Brothers because there is a direct Nintendo connection to that character. Nintendo published a video game where Mikey was the protagonist, and Mikey has appeared in compilation multi-video game character cast games before, and Konami characters appear in Smash Brothers. Not going to happen, but it's what I want.
Yeah. All right. My number one, Kevin. What is it? No one's surprised.
Crash Bandicoot.
Exactly. If Crash Bandicoot ends up in Smash, I might just retire from life.
Yeah.
I don't know that I could deal with anything. Like, that is just dreams come true. But the thing with it is, I don't think it's likely. I think that it being American, it being like Activision, I do not see playing nice necessarily with Nintendo. I don't see Nintendo reaching out to them. Like, there's a lot of things that could cause issues. Having said that, we've seen them work nicely for Skylanders. There was the Skylanders, Bowser and Donkey Kong toys made and all that. So it's like there is precedent years ago. I do think that if we see Crash, he will be DLC. It will not be like part of the
he needs to exist for the megaphone taunt. That alone
I was gonna
justifies
say,
it. Yeah.
There's so much they can do.
You had to have Nintendo headquarters appear first in the background, and then he does a taunt.
I just love it, man. And like, I feel there are very few characters. Like, we're at a point now in the debatably 6th iteration of Smash Brothers that all the classic characters, especially when they introduced 8-player Smash, which no one saw coming.
Yeah.
Like, that was one of those announcements just in the middle of a direct, like, guess what? Like, I remember growing up on forums and people would make the fake choose a character screens.
Yeah.
And it was just like sprawling with like almost 100 characters and there was like 8 playable things. I'm like, yeah, right. We're at that point now. Like, it's pretty damn insane.
Yep.
But when you look at it and you're trying to think of like the iconic, like, mascot characters.
We're running out.
We are running out.
We're almost on fumes.
Crash Bandicoot is up there in a way that Geno isn't. You know what I mean? In a way that a lot of these other characters aren't.
Do not besmirch the noble name of Captain Rainbow, my friend.
But I'm just saying, it's like when you start thinking of an 8-player fight that includes Mario and Pac-Man and Mega Man and Ryu, and you just keep going down that list. Pac-Man, it's insane, and the Crash Bandicoot fits in that conversation. And I would just freaking die if I saw that.
I feel like if we got Crash, then we'd have to get an equal representative for Microsoft.
Sonic included as well.
Sonic?
I'm saying Sonic would be in that list.
That's true. Yeah, Sonic. I was thinking Master Chief as well. If we're at it,
that would be
insane. Master Chief would be amazing. It would be. I like that one. I actually think I'd rather have the pinatas if I was going to do something from the Microsoft end. I'd rather have it's not nearly as representative, but I think the Viva Pinata.
Yeah, the weird thing is with Rare, like even though Viva Pinata is very clearly a Microsoft game, I still associate almost everything from Rare with Nintendo for some reason.
Yeah, and that's how
it's because for the entire Super Nintendo and N64 run, like that, Rare was one of the defining studios.
Yeah, they were a second-party studio for all intents and purposes. And
there was a DS version of Viva Pinata 2, I believe.
What's there? I can't remember.
Was a DS
Did they come out? Okay, right. I forgot about that.
Moving on to just new character and Echo predictions. So these aren't our dream things. These are just going through a list of characters and kind of talking about what we think the likelihood is and trying to see if there's any evidence that could support them being in or not being in.
So is it like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 thing, or what? Like, are we like most likely, or?
I think it's just, we'll just talk it out.
All right,
and we'll just
talk it out. Here we go.
So far there are 71 characters.
Can we just sit here and process that for a moment and how insane that is?
There are 71 characters.
That's like
in Smash
the
Ultimate.
first hour of Infinity War right there.
73 with Pokemon Trainer, if you count them as separate Pokemon, which is one of the little things that bothers me about Smash Ultimate. I was a Charizard user. And Charizard was another one of my
You still
mains.
can be.
But he doesn't have his down B.
That's true. He doesn't.
And so that's kind of upsetting. I kind of wish that you could choose between Pokemon Trainer or the separate ones,
Right.
and give Squirtle and Ivysaur like a different down B move, like to make them a little bit more viable.
Right.
Sakurai's watching right now, going, "Tim, give me a break."
Yeah, I know, right? But I'll take what I can get. So in terms of new characters, Melee had 13 and a half new characters, Sheik being the half because she wasn't her own separate character. Brawl had 16. If you include Pokemon Trainer, it gets kind of complicated.
Right.
And Wii U had 21. So every game has had more than the last.
Yep.
Sakurai has said that we're not getting that too many new characters. I don't know if that includes Echo characters or not.
That's a question.
And I feel like there's been a precedent set that we're going to get a shit ton of Echo characters because no one would have seen Richter Belmont coming.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful. I love Richter Belmont so much.
The best part about Richter too is if you watch the live reactions, a lot of people are like freaking out over Simon, and they have no idea who Richter is.
Richter's so much better than Simon.
So right now, the new characters that we have confirmed are Inkling Boy and Girl, Ridley, Simon Belmont, and King K. Rool. The new Echo characters we have confirmed: Daisy, Richter Belmont, Dark Samus, Chrom.
Okay.
So we already have 8 new characters.
Yeah.
Which is pretty damn insane. 2 questions I have for you guys. Will this game have DLC?
Yes.
Yes.
I think so too. It's one of my worries that they haven't said something about it yet.
I think that'd be. I mean, I don't think they commented on DLC for the Wii U one either pre-launch, as I recall.
They did during their big direct where they announced 8-player Smash. It was like the 50 fact.
Did they talk about
extravaganza.
DLC then?
It ended saying Mewtwo's the first DLC.
Oh wow!
then
Oh,
it'll
that's
come.
right. I do remember that now. That's right.
I think that when you're trying to, I could be wrong, but if I were marketing this game and you're already making your vast cast of characters and stages the main focus, it's not like when they were marketing where they're marketing 8-player support, or they're marketing third-party characters, or you're marketing the bigness. That is the selling point of this game. Is it's everything you love about Smash in one package. It's huge. You don't need to focus on it being more huge in the future when you've got a huge message to get out now.
It almost undermines the message.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. And I think that's why we're not hearing about it right now.
I guess I want this game to be a platform for the future. And so I'm hoping that sooner than later we hear at least a confirmation that there is a DLC plan to go throughout the Switch's life cycle. Because to me, that means that a lot of the characters we talked about earlier are going to make it in eventually.
No, like 7 people bought Wii U's on the planet Earth.
Exactly.
And they still made money making DLC characters for it.
Yeah.
7 jillion people have bought Switches. So I think they're probably going to just follow up on that strategy.
So assuming there will be DLC, as we all think there will be, we're at 71 characters so far. Do we hit 100?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, no chance.
Including Echo Fighters.
Yeah, no, there's no chance we hit 100. I don't think, even including I mean, we didn't even get that many DLC characters for Wii U. I don't see it happening here. Yeah, I mean, it'd be amazing. That I would love that, but yeah, I'm thinking maybe 85 would be the absolute cap, counting everything.
80's a nice round number, and I think I'll shoot there. I'm just pulling this out of trying to figure out how much they'd willing to spend on assets versus getting the game out. The problem with a fighting game, and Andrew knows this way better than I do, is that every variable you add screws up everybody else. You add an 80th fighter to a roster of 79.
That means balance all that.
Right,
That means
all
you need
79
Kirby to
be-
have another copy ability, and that needs to be balanced.
and that's the problem. So this becomes kind of a problem that just stacks on itself. I really can't see him going over 80.
And we've seen this manifest too with Bayonetta seemingly being the most powerful character still, even after being nerfed, I believe.
Yeah.
So
We shall see. I don't think 100 is likely. I also don't think it's impossible. And I only think that because of Echo Fighters, and I
Right.
especially think that because of Richter getting an Echo Fighter, because I feel like that sets the precedent that when we look at a lot of the third-party characters, as we'll get into in a second, there's a lot of one-for-ones that I think are gimmies, and those can start to add up pretty quickly.
I think 80 on the initial roster with 20 Echo Fighters, or not Echo Fighters, with 20 DLC, might be a rough.
Be insane.
that would be.
And I also don't think that there's any real goal to hit 100. Like, that
I don't
is
think
such
so.
just an arbitrary
I
thing
mean,
anyways.
it already is the ultimate one of, why not save the 100 milestone for a future potential Smash, perhaps, if they end up going the route of just adding more and more.
Yeah.
So in terms of new characters that I think are likely, I made a list of a bunch of ones that get talked about a lot to varying degrees. I do think there'll be a Generation 7 Pokemon represented.
Absolutely.
I think it's either going to be Decidueye or Incineroar. Those are the two that keep coming up. They make sense for Smash. They make sense for a fighting game. I don't necessarily think that we need them, but we're going to get one.
Right.
I'm just going to go with you on this because for all I know, you could be making those two words up.
Yeah. But I mean, you feel me on this, right? Like,
Oh,
there's-
it's absolutely not even a question in my mind. Yeah.
yeah, there needs to be some Pokemon rep. And like with this game's design Bible wrapping in 2015, the timing all just makes sense.
That might be why they've been holding back on revealing Poke Floats too. That's
Yes,
that's
it
how you
is.
announce the return of Poke Floats.
We need to bring that back, man. What a disaster of a stage. I
It
love
truly was.
Monster Hunter. We got kind of a tease.
We did.
In the direct of at least a Monster Hunter stage, kind of, but not really. And then the boss. So do we think we'll see a Monster Hunter actual character?
I think it makes tremendous sense, especially with Mega Man having already showed up in the last game. Monster Hunter is incalculably popular in Japan and increasingly popular here. I think that Monster Hunter is like a 90% to show up either as a main game or a DLC character.
I think it's likely as DLC. I think if it was in the game, they wouldn't have shown.
It's a weird way to announce that series being in the game if they did it this way, with the stage first or whatever it is, and then the character coming later.
Unless they just want to make us intrigued for the character. I actually think
That's
you're
true.
going to get one of the little cat guys more than you're likely to get a real Monster Hunter.
Could be a Pikachu Echo.
Yeah. What's that? No, I think a Palico would be like, I didn't know if folks weren't familiar with the game, but Palico would fit that aesthetic really well. Because the Monster Hunter is something you create and you make, but the Palicos have a look to them
Yeah.
that you could just dive
So is
into.
Robin, though, in Fire Emblem, and that didn't really stop him.
Good point.
Captain Toad.
No, because I would love it. We actually made a whole video about this where we argued the case for Captain Toad being in Switch, because even though he can't jump, I think he could work around
Totally.
that moveset. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Hey!
Here's why I don't think he's going to be in Smash, because he appears in the stage for New Donk City in the background.
So it could be like the Alfonso
It could be.
situation that we saw on the 3DS version, I think
Spirit
it was.
Train,
with
yeah.
Spirit, yeah. So I don't know. I think that Captain Toad is not a lock, but I do think likely. And again, it goes back to the design Bible of the game being 2015. When you look at the Wii U games, the hit Wii U games that did something different, there wasn't too many of them. And I think Captain Toad is one of the few. And the evidence against it would be that Peach uses Toad as a move. But Toad and Captain Toad,
They're two different characters.
different homies.
And also, I just want the potential to be there for that when Peach does that block move, Captain Toad, if you're playing him, recoils in horror. I just want that to happen. I want that reaction.
I want Captain Toad. I
Yeah,
feel like
I do too.
he'd be an interesting character, and I think they'd find really cool ways around him not being able to
Like,
jump.
whenever someone says that character won't work in Smash, I want that character even more.
And I feel like that challenges Sakurai to be like, "Fuck you, we're gonna make
We're going to
this
make him work.
work."
Exactly.
We got Duck Hunt Dog,
Right.
Right.
Like, what the hell?
Is that the best manifestation? I mean, of all the things he's been challenged by, which one do you think is the best example of him pulling that off?
I think Duck Hunt Dog might be.
Duck Hunt Dog is up there. Rob, I think, also.
Rob.
I mean, both never playable characters in any way before, really.
Yeah, but then using kind of the games around it as
Right.
as inspiration. For
I think
movesets.
when Ice Climbers was new, back before we knew that was going to happen, that was pretty stunning.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you can understand what the moves would be for Ice Climbers,
Yeah.
at least. Where, like, I'm sure that there's people that are like, what about this character? Because there must be a better example.
Mr. Game &
Probably,
Watch,
yeah.
honestly, before I
That's
knew
a
about
weird
him,
one.
he was like, how would you make that work? Well, they
Yeah.
found a way.
Bandana D from the Kirby games.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Gaining traction over the last couple Kirby games and like kind of seen as a main character in the same breath as Day to Day and Meta Knight. So I feel like they have that going for it. Also, the Sakurai bias. Games he's worked on, characters he's created
Right.
do get the extra push. So Kid Icarus Uprising and Kirby, I feel like, get overrepresented. represented.
Yeah, and intelligent systems work. That makes a lot of sense that they would lean into that more heavily. Sure. That's a very smashy pick. I like that.
I'm afraid to say anything because we also posted a video for Bandana D and Smash, and in the case, we're making the case for it, and the verdict in our video was that he wouldn't appear in Smash. And and I saw what the audience reaction was to it, so I'm afraid to say anything. Personally, I don't think he's gonna make it. I mean, he is just he's just a Waddle Dee with a bandana, so I don't think he's got the clout. Even though
Well,
I'm upsetting a lot of people right now, I realize this.
No, I see him more as an assist.
Yeah, I think that's an assist to be a pretty
prominent
role.
assist, but maybe not that. Because like seeing Alucard next to Richter, I mean, the moment I saw Richter, I was excited, but I was like, "Where's Alucard?" And then there's the assist, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, I've been placated. You can do that with this."
Gino was next up. We can skip that. Chorus Kids, another one from Rhythm Heaven. There's been like rumors of them for multiple games now. There's been data for their character models. Like back in Brawl, I think it was Mewtwo, Roy, and Chorus Kids, and Dixie Kong.
Yeah.
Where there was like evidence of them, models and stuff existing in the data of the game. They're a weird one, but every Smash game has a weird one.
Yeah.
Rhythm Heaven fits the Smash aesthetic so well. I think this has just been a matter of not if, but when. Of course, Kids might be DLC, but that's just about the smashiest pick I can think of.
And it even fits in with your moveset idea for the
Music styles, Alleviate Agents.
Yeah.
Alleviate Agents, right?
Yeah, only done.
I think there's a good chance we'll get a representation for it. I don't think it'll be Chorus Kids anymore, though. I think I don't know if it actually meant anything, but in the recent King K. Rool trailer, Donkey Kong strikes a pose when he's watching TV that's just like Karate Joe does back in the first Rhythm Heaven game, where he's lying on the ground watching TV. And Karate Joe, I mean, you already know how he'd work in Smash.
Yeah,
so-
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think that if we get Chorus Kids, I think that they're 40% likely. Only if it's in the main game. I don't think they'd be DLC.
Okay.
I think if we don't see them at launch, they're
You don't think
missing
people are
out
going
this
to?
round.
Interesting.
You know, that makes a lot of sense because they would be a little harder to sell as DLC.
Yeah.
Although, God, I don't know though. I'm presuming a lot. I'm like nobody will care about. But when you love Smash and you see something that creative, maybe people would just dive in for that.
Well, an interesting thing about DLC as well is we've only had one generation of games that had DLC, and it was so focused on bringing back previous characters.
Right.
Yeah.
We only got a handful of new characters in Smash Wii U. The emphasis was really on bringing back people we lost from the Melee days or Brawl days.
Or third-party characters that came along later, like Ryu and Cloud.
So, could be interesting. Springman and Ribbon Girl.
I think these are actually perfect candidates for DLC.
Yep.
I think ARMS might have been too late. I mean,
And
granted,
that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's the design Bible. I think it's too late. I think it's obvious that they're going to be in this game, but I do think it'll be DLC. There's just no way they can get their act together that quickly.
right. I think if they do come, they will act as echoes of each other, kind of like Simon and.
And if not echoes, they'll be like Alpha and Olimar, where it's
Right.
just like different alt.
Although
costumes.
some people will get you, some people will tell you they're completely different
Completely
characters.
different
Right?
characters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the only way it could work is if there was some kind of proto ARMS that they were working on for Wii U that we never heard about, which I don't think there was. So
Yeah, I don't think,
probably
but
right.
I do think they are probably my most confirmed lock for DLC.
I'm right there with you. Yeah.
And similar story, I think, Rex and Pyrrha from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I didn't play the game, but these are on every fucking list I see of like characters people want and expect. But I think that if we did get another Xenoblade character, it would be from Xenoblade X on Wii U, not Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I don't think we're going to get that necessarily.
Right. I mean, in terms of timing, I think that does make more sense. But I don't know if that game had like the clout or hype behind it.
But I don't think Sakurai gives a fuck.
That's also true.
He
There is
cares
the-
about those Japanese-centric games so
Yeah.
much.
Right.
I mean, look at Fire Emblem. Like, people talk so much shit about there being so many Fire Emblem characters. It's because it's like his favorite franchise, and it's because he's been ride or die for it forever. Like, Sakurai is the reason that Westerners know what Fire Emblem is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I didn't know what it was until Marth and Roy became my favorite characters in Melee.
We were like back then. We're like, who are these guys, and why
Yeah.
are they speaking Japanese?
He's practically
very weird.
he's practically his own marketing arm for the company at this point. I mean, that's another reason I'm going to dive back into this. But the more we're talking here, the more I'm like, there's no way on God's earth that Slime is not in this game eventually. Either it's Dragon Quest XI, it's the 30th anniversary of the biggest franchise in Japanese history. He's a Japanese-centric creator. Nintendo and Square work together in Dragon Quest. That's gotta happen.
Yeah.
It's gotta happen.
I don't know. There's something about the Dragon Quest that I just feel isn't the right vibe for the game.
I should have been Mario Sports Mix for crying out loud. I mean, it just seems like it's gotta happen.
Next on the list, I had Banjo-Kazooie. So you're coming with the good ones.
Yeah, that's what I do.
And then Minecraft Steve, which we talked about. Paper Mario is another one.
I would be so on board with this.
Yeah.
Paper Mario. I mean, especially the references to older games, not so much as more recent ones like Paper Jam or Sticker Star.
Sticker Star. Let's not talk about that.
Let's not. No, I think that'd be amazing because he's a completely different character than Mario. I feel like he has his own moveset. He has his own vibe even.
And that's the thing is, if he's in, he's not going to be an Echo.
No, he
would
can't
have
be.
to be his own character with
Right.
his own set of moves. And a lot of people argue that Mario is already overrepresented. I don't think so. I mean, whether or not it is, Paper Mario is its own franchise.
Right.
Just because it's also Mario, it's like they're different.
If it went into planning around the time they were putting Paper Jam together, that would make especially good sense because you literally have Mario fighting alongside Paper Mario in that game.
Good point.
Yeah, I mean, that's if they were putting the design doc together right around then, that would make a lot of sense.
And in terms of evidence that points towards or against characters being added, there was a Paper Mario stage in the last version on the 3DS, and there's not too many stages that represent games that don't have characters playable.
Right.
Yeah.
There's some of them, but some of them you're like, there's no like Electroplankton.
I was gonna say, where's our Electroplankton
we're
character?
never gonna fucking or PictoChat, whatever. But it's like
Right.
there's not a character to represent it. Whereas
Exactly.
Paper Mario is like kind of a glaring omission when there is a stage.
How ama-
Electroplankton, I'm so happy.
How amazing would it be if we got Paper Mario and Geno in this game? Two RPG characters
Oh my
finally
God.
representing.
Fuck yeah.
Yep.
That's a good day.
That's a very good day, my friend.
Travis touchdown.
Ooh.
0% chance.
He was one of the big ones going into Brawl that everyone's like, it's gonna happen.
Yep.
And it didn't.
Nope.
And I understand why. I feel like it's just weird enough that it could work, but to me, he's DLC.
In his favor, originally I would have said there was no chance, but the fact that Bayonetta made it in, who is a much more mature character than the Smash Brothers seems to represent, and they found a way to fit her in, I think they could do it.
Yeah.
But I still don't quite see it happening, especially...
I think after Snake, it's possible. Honestly, I thought after Snake, pretty much the doors were open to
After
just about
Cloud,
anything.
anything is possible.
Yeah. After they killed Luigi before our eyes.
They fucking killed him.
There are two eras now, the pre-Luigi death era and the post-Luigi death era.
Exactly.
Oh,
That's-
man. All right. Potential Echo characters that we're getting. Oh, actually, no, sorry. The last potential new characters, Champions of Hyrule. Whatever that looks like. Whether it's one of them, whether they're an ice climber type thing, I don't think it's
Not
likely.
happening.
I don't think
No.
it's happening at all. Maybe some assist trophies, but I don't think there's a chance.
I mean, we're talking about champions of Breath of the Wild, right?
Yep.
They're such nothing characters. I mean, they're in the game for like 5 minutes, so yeah, that's not happening. 0%, maybe as an assist or something. So that's all I see.
And next, there'll be a direct tomorrow. All of them are coming into the game.
Oh, I know. Sakurai's watching this right now. He's like, "Fuck that guy! I'm gonna throw him in right now."
Potential Echo characters. So, like I was saying earlier, we got Dark Samus, which is somebody that was requested for years.
Yeah.
You know, we got Chrom, which was such a like. I mean, it was hinted at in the reveal trailer
Right.
for Robin and who else was it last time? Robin and someone else. Oh, Lucina.
Right.
Last generation. And that was kind of a shock. I'm also a little mad that Chrom is a Roy Echo and not an Ike Echo.
But doesn't he take Ike's recovery though?
He takes
right?
us up B,
Yeah.
which is like the least good move possible. Like the problem I have with that, and we'll see. I haven't played, so maybe they found a way to fix this. But as an Ike main, Ike is his recovery is only good when you have his side B to go horizontal and then his up B to go vertical.
Okay.
So if you are Roy, but you only can go up and down, like you're kind of fucked.
So that might be why, apparently, if I remember correctly, from reading the Smash Wiki, apparently he does have slightly more of a horizontal reach this time than Ike did.
I mean, it's gonna need to be kind of a big ass.
Yeah, I don't think it's
like-
enough to make up for that.
Yeah, so we'll see. But I feel like he should have just been straight up an Ike Echo and called it a day.
Right.
Because we already have fucking Marth, Roy,
so
and
weird, yeah.
Lucina with the same moveset. But yeah, then once we got Richter, I was like, okay, all bets are off.
Yeah.
Even third-party characters are getting not only echoes, obscure echoes.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get a lot of third-party echo characters. Maybe everybody getting one.
Wow, that's a good one. I think that this one's complicated by the fact, just licensing issues. We have no idea how those work behind the scenes.
We don't. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of, I mean, okay, let's just go down the list. Miss Pac-Man.
Sure, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
I think
I'll
it
go
makes
with it.
the most sense. There is weird licensing stuff going on.
There's also the fact that Namco kind of likes to pretend Miss Pac-Man doesn't
I
exist in
think it's
Japan.
but I think that's a licensing thing. So
because you got the whole the whole Otto versus Miss Pac. We're not going to go down that history, here. But there is some history to the way Miss Pac-Man came into being, where Namco in Japan has not always wanted to play nice with that part of their history.
Yeah, so that would be the one thing against it, but it also just makes so much sense.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it more, yeah, it does make sense. I don't think it's going to happen, though. Probably just Pac-Man again.
It's kind of weird that Miss Pac-Man's an American character.
It is.
Yeah,
You
very.
know?
Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yes, absolutely.
100% happening.
No assist trophy yet.
He does not have an assist trophy yet. He is in this game. Not only does he not have an assist trophy, they added a Knuckles assist trophy.
Right.
And we've seen it that usually these third parties have one. Anytime there's a character, there's one assist trophy to back it up. If we have Knuckles, we're getting Shadow as an Echo.
Is he bringing
100%.
his gun?
He's not bringing his gun. I do have a theory, and this would be the biggest departure we've seen so far from Echo characters. But I think it's going to be based on Sonic's moveset, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think his up B is going to be Mewtwo's.
Oh, interesting.
That's an interesting
More
one, yeah.
of a like teleport
Okay, yeah.
type situation going on.
I just wish they would change one of his other Bs, because I feel like Sonic, it feels such a bland character.
pretty much
because
just a bunch
it's
of
the
variations
it's
on the same
move 3
thing.
times, right?
Yeah.
So I hope they change one of those moves out, so we have someone who feels a little bit different.
I think they're going to take
maybe-
special care in the Echo characters to make sure that you don't have that completely redundant feeling. Like if they're introducing a new principle like that, they want it to feel fresh for you. I think they'll be very careful about that. I think they're probably more hyper aware of that than we are even.
It might be.
The Echoes are such a weird thing because, like, back in my day, we used to call them clones.
Right. And no one liked them.
But no one likes them, and now it's like, fucking give me all of them.
That might be the best rebranding.
Best marketing
So,
of all time.
Like, it was like Coke going from New Coke back to Coke again. Like, people actively want Echo characters now. So
What's so funny about it, though, is when you look at where we're at now and what they define Echo characters as versus just separate characters, there's not really rhyme or reason for a lot of it. It kind of just seems like there was an arbitrary cutoff at the Wii U era because, so Lucina and Dark Pit, which when we saw them, we're like, all right, they're fucking clones. They're Echo characters, but Dr. Mario's not. Falco's not, Wolf's not, Roy's not. Like,
So
that's
that was
weird.
That was pretty much our first question to Bill Trennan at E3 and Nate Bildorf from the Treehouse. Like, why isn't Dr. Mario an Echo character? What is an Echo character? And the way they described it is basically an Echo character is pretty much the original character, just with like a couple tweaks here or there. Whereas Dr. Mario, even though he does have the same superficially the same moves, they are very different from Mario's core moves and in their exact properties.
But Dr. Mario, especially in the Wii U version, essentially was just Mario without FLUDD. Like, it was just like the original Mario.
Yeah, but even his pills, I think, have different properties to them than the fireballs. But I agree with you. Like, if it were up to me, Dr. Mario would be an Echo. Like, I have a thing. I feel like if there's a character already on the roster, they shouldn't be in the roster again because Dr. Mario is just Mario with a cape, or a doctor's outfit. So,
Yeah, it's weird.
yeah.
Whatever. I'll take it then. Let's get to that 100. All right, so Shadow, I think, is a lock. For Ryu, are we going to see Ken?
I think so.
Are we going to see Akuma?
Akuma. I think Akuma's more likely than Ken.
See, my thing is, I think Ken's more likely. But you brought up a good point when we were talking earlier. Akuma has the most brilliant Echo move, which is the difference of the fireball.
Right, the jump fire, the curvature on the fireball, that would be an edge guarding nightmare. I just love that one. You could change that one thing between the two characters, and they become fundamentally broken in beautiful ways. And I like that. So I'm really hoping that the angled fireball for Akuma makes its way in because it's kind of his distinctive Street Fighter breaking move, which would not actually damage the playability of Smash Brothers, but would still be very signature and cool, and you wouldn't have to do a lot to make it happen.
I almost feel like we might get both.
There's actually a third possibility too. We could have
Dan?
Akuma. We could not Dan, but
We're not gonna do.
I think Sakura, who fundamentally has most of Ryu's moveset at kind of readjusted. You could make an Echo out of her.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get that, though.
Yeah, I think with how well Street Fighter 2 performed on the Switch's eShop, there's a good chance we'll see more Echoes. So if we see 2 or 3 of them, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and never underestimate the power of Japanese schoolgirls in selling a video game.
It's true. It's true. So then for Snake, I've seen online of people talking about Big Boss, which is like the easy, obvious answer. But then even Raiden.
Raiden moves so. The problem with Snake is all big and chunky and
MGS2 Raiden.
Yeah, but okay, maybe. But we associate him brand wise with speed and revengeance, and I'm a dude that moves quick like an engine, cuts things in half.
I kind of just want this game to be the end all be all proof of what PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale couldn't do.
I get that. No, I really do think like Raiden works better as a separate character. He's just too distinctive from the way that Snake moves.
Also, going off what I just said, can we just appreciate the fact that we have a game that has a Smash Brothers game on a Nintendo platform that has Snake and Cloud and has more of a chance of having Crash than All Stars ever
It is
did.
truly remarkable. That is something else.
The only problem with All Stars was that it sucked. It was such a good idea.
You know what's funny is when people saw it for the first time, people are like, "That's too similar to Smash Brothers." In hindsight, they should have gotten closer to Smash
The
Brothers.
biggest problem with
Yeah.
All Stars is that it wasn't fully a clone
Exactly.
of Smash.
Yeah.
It was like an echo. No.
No, if they had just dived more into Smash and used their own interesting stable of characters, we would still be playing those games.
Totally.
Yep.
But yeah, I think Big Boss, there's a chance. Konami is playing really nice with Sakurai, and I know that it's like kind of a weird iffy thing because of Kojima and all that, but they got David Hayter back. Like, that's kind of fucking huge.
Yeah.
But they did change Snake's logo from the Foxhound logo to the exclamation point. So there's still bad blood over there.
I do love too just the idea of how Snake is a literal clone of Big Boss, so that kind of fits it perfectly with the Echo Fighter paradigm.
and that's why I feel like Ken is such a shoo-in. He is the original video game clone character in the sense of not actually clone, but like
Yeah.
right.
palette swap, right?
I like the idea that we get a clone of Snake that's just him in the bandages from the hospital in GS5. Just get his
Yeah.
face all wrapped up. That'd be kind of great.
For Mega Man, so many options. It gets weird because of the Final Smash kind
Right.
of using up all of majority of the options and us getting a assist trophy of 0 confirmed.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, who could it possibly be? With Mii Fighter costumes, we got Mega Man X, Proto Man, Mega Man.exe, and 0 last generation. So I don't know.
If Capcom
I'm running
wants
the
to
bathroom
push
quick.
Mega Man X collection, I mean, that's one way to lean in. It's just to have X as an Echo Fighter. The thing is, Mega Man and Mega Man X really do move kind of differently. What are your thoughts on that, Andre?
You know, I'm actually not too familiar with the Mega Man games, unfortunately, much to one of my coworkers. He gets upset with me every time I tell him this. So, yeah, I don't have too many thoughts on that, but I do have one thought. What if, because as Tim mentioned, they have the Mega Man has a Final Smash, which seems to discount or unconfirm a lot of potential echoes. What if they pulled an Infinity War trailer with this, where they had Hulk in the Infinity War trailer, even though he doesn't appear in the movie in that segment, running at the camera? What if they threw him in there just to throw us off the smell, off the scent?
Do you think that's why Hulk was in the trailer, or do you think that's because they changed something in the movie late in the?
No, they straight up said that
They
they
said
did
that?
it
Okay.
just for a
Misdirection.
shot. They wanted it to look more epic, I think. Or
Misdirection, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I do think Mega Man's a natural for Echoes, but I think it's less likely. I think they're more likely to reach into that Capcom pool, and if Capcom's only going to get one character, I think it's much more likely going to be from Monster Hunter than another iteration of Mega Man beyond what
agree
they
with
already
that.
have. So
Yeah.
that's in that. So Tim's got his list over there. He's gone peeing now. I could pick this up. Hold
let's
on.
do it.
See if we can find it here. All right, we got Mega Man. Is it Mega Man? Where we at? Bug Boss Raiden, Proto Man. Let's see. Oh, wait, I think he's back. There we go. We got past Mega Man.
We're about to take over hosting detail.
Yeah, we grabbed the thing, but then I couldn't figure out where you were on the sheet.
Let's see.
We're no echo of Tim, apparently.
Gene from Bayonetta. That was good.
That was good. Good job.
But Bayonetta, what are the chances of us seeing Gene?
I don't think it'll happen.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think Bayonetta is basically it.
I think there's a chance.
All right, I like it.
I mean, Bayonetta, who the fuck saw that coming?
No one.
Yeah, I think it's less
And also
likely.
Bayonetta getting an assist trophy with Ronin. Like,
I just don't know how much platinum clout we're going to get in this. We were just talking about Mega Man, and how many Capcom characters are going to get in initially? Maybe 2. So if that's Mega Man and 1 more, it's probably going to be Monster Hunter rather than an Echo, for example. Maybe more will get in. Maybe they're more liberal about that. But I
I
don't
think
see.
they're going to be liberal with the fact that we got Richter.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, I mean, you've got a burly guy with a stiff guy with a whip, and you got another burly stiff guy with a whip. So why not?
Cloud. Does he get a Echo?
No. I mean, you could do Zach, but why?
Zach would be the most obvious. I don't think he'd make like he'd be the most easy, like in terms of 1 for 1.
Yeah.
But I don't think he has the resonance with an audience.
Yeah, Squall is too different. The Gunblade's going to change up your mechanics quite a bit there. I don't think that works.
People throwing around Sephiroth, which is like, that doesn't even make sense. Lightning, Noctis, Chrono. I'm like, I feel like a lot of them would just have totally different play styles, and it's just not going to
I don't want to live in a world where the beauty and joy and purity and optimism and goodness of Chrono is in any way tainted by the whininess of Cloud Strife. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we live in a world where Ganondorf can play just like Captain Falcon. So
Okay, there's that
True.
too. That's
Very true. He has a sword now.
he does have it, thank God. Yeah,
Kind
it's
of.
about time.
And so then Diddy Kong. Here's the big one. Dixie.
Gonna happen. I'm in on this.
Me too.
Yep.
Me too. I feel like it's been way too long. She's been rumored way too many times, and I think everyone expected her to be her own character forever. But now that echoes are a true thing, we're
Right.
fucking getting it.
And it makes complete sense. She can have the exact same moveset minus her recovery, which would just be a hairspin. Yeah.
Which should just be hairspin, which has the same properties as Donkey Kong's up B.
No,
There we go.
I loathe Diddy Kong. This is way too smart not to do. They absolutely should have her in there.
I really think it's going to happen. Black Shadow or Mach Rider as Captain Falcon echoes.
Yes, yeah, I'm down. I think we're overdue for another F-Zero representation. So even if the series itself will never come back, I'm in.
I just love that you said Mach Rider, and I'm not going to say any more beyond that. I'm
Yeah.
just flashing to like the NES's bad Excite Bike, and I'm locked into that.
But
Yeah.
Smash has shown a lot of love to Mach Rider in the past.
It has.
Like a lot more than to many other franchises, even if it's just a song. But even just a song back in Melee meant a lot.
Yep, it did.
Counterpoint: the song wasn't very good though.
True, it was horrible.
There's a reason we remember Excite Bike and forget Mach Rider.
I don't think that it's going to happen for either of them, especially because Black Shadow, how different is he going to be from Ganondorf, who already is an echo of...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what about is it Blood Falcon or
Yeah,
Yeah.
That they could... I just don't see him... They don't give a fuck about F-Zero. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, Captain Falcon he's one of the original. You know, he's a prominent. The Falcon Punch will be in our minds from now till the end of time. I think that's what F-Zero deserves until they get a new game.
Yeah.
I love F-Zero, but it's time for a new F-Zero before I see much more of it in Smash.
Octolings as Inkling echoes.
Yeah, because they want to sell more Octolings to you. I think that as a marketing move, that makes sense.
I see it as DLC. I think
It could
that
be,
it's,
yeah.
I think that it's one of those, especially with how they're pushing the Octolings now with Splatoon
As
2.
DLC?
Yeah, like I think timeline wise,
I think they give them to you main game to try to get you to buy Octoling DLC in Splatoon.
Hilda as a Zelda echo and Impa as a Sheik echo.
oh wow.
You could, but I think that when you're prioritizing, so many other things in this list are going to make a bigger splash. It's
I
hard
think
for me
Impa
to...
has a chance.
Yeah?
I think Hilda does not have a chance.
I'm going to say no to both. We already have so much Zelda representation now with all the links coming back.
Yeah.
I don't know if we need any more.
Birdo as a Yoshi. Echo.
I think we are more likely to get Birdo as an individual character than we
Really?
are as an Echo. Yeah. I actually think Birdo, who makes weird appearance... Nintendo obviously likes Birdo. Again, I was joking about
True.
Captain Rainbow earlier, but Birdo pops up there. Birdo pops up in a lot of weird places. And I could absolutely see Birdo working as a great Smash Brothers character.
I would love that. I don't see her as being as an Echo just because her moveset would be, I feel like it'd be too different. Yeah, they both have eggs, but they shoot them in very different ways.
Yeah.
So, and plus, Birdo, as far as we know, doesn't inhale people like Yoshi does.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you guys.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong. Now with an all new funky mode.
Oh my God. That would be incredible.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
No, I don't either.
I've never struck anyone on camera before.
And then finally, Isabel.
Oh, 100%. I'm in on
100%.
Isabel. Yep.
It's happening. I really, really think we're gonna get Isabel as a villager echo. I don't think she's gonna be her own character.
That makes sense.
I don't either, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now going into this is a little bit different. We're talking about third parties. If they were to be represented in this franchise, who do we think they would use?
Okay.
Let's start with Ubisoft, who is not a Japanese developer, so it would be kind of weird. But Rayman did have a trophy in the Wii U version of the
true.
game. which is
Rabbits,
very,
rabbits,
very
rabbits,
weird.
rabbits, rabbits. I
Just a rabbit or Peach Rabbit?
That's it.
I think, well, costume change, probably. Honestly.
That's
I
true.
think
They
both.
could pretty much, yeah, that'd be, or an Echo even.
Yeah,
So.
I think that you go with a rabbit of some kind. That makes perfect sense. A rabbit is a perfect Smash character. I was talking about this with y'all a few months ago. This has been batted around literally for years, and it's one of the best third-party moves they could make. They have that great relationship. They're fun characters. They're dumb. They're cartoony. They're agile. Why not?
I could see it happening as DLC, not as core, but that is a interesting point of it just being a rabbit where it could be Mario Rabbit or Peach Rabbit or Luigi just go through.
Yeah, and that collaboration that they were doing on the Tactics game could easily stem from that 2015 Bible era. That was a game that did not have to be on Wii U to work. And so very well, this could already be in the works.
I do think there's also a chance for Rayman. Him having the trophy in the other game, there's something.
No, I think that ship sailed. It'd be a rabbit, no Rayman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bethesda. Do we get Doom Guy?
No.
Again, I think it would be DLC if it were to happen. I don't think it's impossible. I also don't think it's likely.
I'm going to say it's impossible. I don't think it's going to happen. So
Yeah, Doom Guy's hard. I mean, he'd be amazing. He'd be absolutely amazing. But I don't think tonally the problem with Doom Guy is you don't see Doom Guy. Like Doom Guy, yes, you see him in some screenshots and you see
On the cover. That's all
Yeah.
you need.
no, hold up though. We didn't see Shell
Captain
either,
Falcon.
and that's true too. Yeah,
That's a good point. Yeah,
You
that's
did
true.
see, but he did appear in like art at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't see Doom Guy really taking off on that.
What about Skyrim representation?
Maybe that makes because of their more again from a marketing angle, it makes a lot of sense. Sure, just take some of the iconic armor and slap it on somebody. Why not?
Activision, we already kind of went over this a little with Crash. I think Spyro is way less likely than Crash is. I don't know if there's anyone else really that fits.
No, I can't think of anything else. Crash is the only likely one, I think.
Electronic Arts, I just put it there. I can't think of
What
anything.
characters do they have that
Yo,
could be?
dude, John Madden himself. Okay.
Yes, I'm on board with this.
Do you have anything, Jared?
I'm sorry, I'm still laughing at that.
Microsoft, we went over it already, but yeah, I think that either Minecraft Steve or some type of Rare representation. Hopefully the Rare stuff.
Minecraft Steve would be rad from kind of worldwide perspective.
I could see a Minecraft stage.
Right.
You know, I think that could work.
Yeah, because then you can make the creeper a hazard or something on the stage, or again
Yeah.
an assist trophy or something like that, an item. Because I don't think the creeper's really going to make a good playable character. There's just not enough of a move set there. But Minecraft Steve mounted on a pig would be even more fun, I think. Like not just Steve, but Steve riding a pig around.
Yeah.
I'm more into that than I am just Steve like waddling.
PlayStation, I don't see them getting any first-party representation ever. That's
no.
a little too bro.
Especially
in a way
with-
that PlayStation does not play nice.
That's it. Yeah, with the way they've been acting recently, I don't think there's a chance we see anything from them.
They just go, yeah, y'all can have Polygon Man. No one cares.
Square Enix, they already got Cloud. I don't think we're going to see any more. When you look at the music representation.
Wait, what about Gino?
Oh, well, yeah, Gino. Gino, who I do think is likely, but I don't think we're going to get Chrono. I don't think we're going to get.
I think we
although
get a
Chrono
Dragon.
would be
I'm
great.
telling you, I think we get a Dragon Quest monster, and I think it's Slime.
But the thing about Square is they are proving to be the most difficult to work with in terms of the third parties because for music representation,
2 tracks.
over 800 tracks in the game. Castlevania has 34, Mega Man has like 30, whatever, and then Final Fantasy has 2.
It's amazing.
And it's not even One Winged Angel. Like, how are you going to have Final Fantasy VII music and not have that? It's very bizarre.
Is Genova in there?
No, it's the battle theme and the boss battle theme, and that's it.
How do you not have Genova? I mean, one
They're nuts, man.
They're
fucking nuts. Capcom, I feel like we already have so much representation already. Echoes, I imagine we're going to get a bunch, but I think Monster Hunter is the only other real likely one.
Agreed, yeah.
Calico would be amazing. Although, I mean, if I can play as somebody from Resident Evil in Smash Brothers, that would be awesome. Even a Resident Evil zombie could be fun in that way.
A zombie would be something, yeah.
Yeah, if it's kind of shambling around doing that'd be kind of amazing.
And then Namco Bandai, I'm going to save because we're going to get to that in a second. But outside of games, I brought up Goku earlier.
Right.
Do you think that there's anyone else that could possibly mesh?
Steve Urkel.
Steve Urkel. Shrek gets thrown around a lot. We ain't going to see that.
Only if we get Stefan as an Echo Fighter.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, he was already in mine.
We have to
Yeah.
get Stefan. Yeah, that's Stefan Urkel's got to be there too.
No, I think Sakurai's gonna stick with the game paradigm and
Yeah. I want to go through this a little more quickly than I was planning on because we're running a little long here. But this is the assist trophy and Mii fighter costume evidence towards or against characters. In the past, Dark Samus and Little Mac were both assist trophies. Now they're full characters. So we kind of see that this is a test bed in some way for like proper playable character representation.
Right.
So deconfirmed characters that we will not see playable in this game are Waluigi. And this isn't the full list. These are the ones that had any chance at all.
Exactly.
Waluigi, Ashley from WarioWare, which was a very demanded character for some fucking reason. I don't know.
Because she had a song one time.
Yeah, she had a song one time.
I like Ashley.
I do too.
But it's just weird. Like, I don't know. I just feel like Wario.
Everything in WarioWare is weird. That's what WarioWare does. That's its thing.
Bomberman was kind of a bummer to me.
Bomberman?
Yeah, Bomberman. I really thought that we were going to get him as a playable
I did
character.
too. Yeah,
Bomberman with a Load Runner Echo would be awesome. Like that would be because in the Hudson universe they're the same person. So or with a Mr. Driller like switch out. That
Yeah.
would be cool too. Like any of those little cute Namco guys that all kind of look the same, be amazing.
But yeah,
Dig Dug.
I really thought we were going to get Bomberman, and seeing him as a assist trophy, I was like, fuck.
Yeah. Right there with you.
Gray Fox, which I wouldn't expect to see, but whatever. Zero, I was a little shocked to see as an assist trophy because I was like, oh, maybe we'll get him as an Echo. Crystal from Star Fox.
Thank God.
Yeah, thank God. Lynn from Fire Emblem is another one that's been requested forever, but it's like we don't need another sword fighting Fire Emblem
enough.
character.
Yeah, that's it.
Midna from Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
Shovel Knight, which was like, what the living fuck, and that's Western. So there are some rules that are kind of being broken. But yeah, Shovel Knight, I really thought was a shoe-in as DLC for Wii U when they announced the Amiibo.
The Amiibo, that's it, yeah.
I don't know how that's not a lock. I cannot figure out how that didn't come together.
Love that he's in the game though.
Yeah,
Like,
same
that's
here.
that's so great because we don't see indie representation at all.
No, it's I think we got a trophy for one indie character in Wii U, if I remember correctly. But yeah, we've never seen anything of this caliber. So
I'm
that's
gonna
great.
get salty for a second. I am not okay that he's a trophy. Shovel Knight, you let us down, Nintendo.
Yeah.
Shovel Knight should be in this game. That is a critical failure.
Damn.
Wow.
It's true. I feel you though. Squid Sisters are assist trophies, so they're deconfirmed, and Takamaru is deconfirmed.
Yeah.
And that's another weird one where I don't think anybody's actually asking for him to be in the game as playable, but he is that weird kind of Game & Watch, Rob, Duck Hunt Dog character where it's like, I guess.
I do think he might be the only game represented in Nintendo Land that doesn't have a character in Smash Brothers. So, yeah.
No, that's true. And so
Balloon Fight,
this
too.
this is probably the more exciting bit of this. The characters that have not been deconfirmed yet, that have had assist trophies before,
Yeah.
that their assist trophies have not been seen yet in Smash Ultimate. Dylan from Dylan Rolling Western. I say there is a 20% chance.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah. Excite Bikes have not been seen yet.
That would be
It'd
amazing.
be incredible.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think it's weird we haven't seen him yet.
The wheelie Excite Bike Fighter, there's a lot you could do with.
That would kind of getting back to my whole vehicle thing with Stoner's FX. That would kind of fill in that gap, you know. If you were playing around, if you were on a motorcycle, I guess Wario kind of covers that too a little bit. But
Yeah.
I still love you can just use Wario's motorcycle as a weapon. That's one of the
so
best
great.
things.
You
ever.
can eat your own
like
motorcycle
Dante.
to get health back.
Yeah, that's incredible.
With that said, I'm gonna say 10% chance on Excite Bike.
You think less than Dylan?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Straight up.
Oh, man, I think it's more than Dylan.
I do
I
hope-
would say 25 to 30.
I hope for an Excite Bike stage that's constantly being redesigned as you're playing.
That'd be cool. I mean, they did it in Mario Kart.
Exactly. You've got like toot, 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 and somebody's like building the stage.
Yeah, the track creator
The
they
track
have.
creator, that's the stage, and so your ground is always changing underneath you.
like
I'd
it.
love that.
There was an Isabelle assist trophy, and we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
More proof to that. There was a Shadow one. More proof to that. Skull Kid.
Oh man, this
Now,
is where.
here's my thing.
All right.
I think Skull Kid and Gino are both in the game, and I think that they both have the same shot.
Okay.
Skull Kid used to be an assist trophy, is no longer one. Moon from Majora's Mask is an assist trophy.
Yep. And it had a huge emphasis in the last direct.
Yeah.
Coming during the Shovel Knight segment. And also, I don't know if you saw this, but in the behind Sakurai in one of the segments, there was a purple and yellow chair, just like the two fairies from Majora's
wow.
Mask. And then also on the couch, there are pillows that are colored or have the same fabric style as the Skull Kids.
If you're gonna have Skull Kid
in previous directs, there was things like that led to K. Rool.
There was also Pac-Man in the clouds before.
There was.
if you're gonna have Skull Kid in your game, then every time you play with him, it has to be time, not stock. That's got to be the one rule. No matter what happens, if you play a Skull Kid, then the world's going to end in 3 minutes, no matter what. Yeah,
but yeah, I really think Skull Kid is going to make it in.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
he's perfect.
Isaac from Golden Sun, another oft-requested fighter. We got a kind of tease for it in this direct.
We did.
Where we got the shot that looks like the battle system in Golden Sun.
Yeah.
He's been an assist trophy. We haven't seen him yet.
That seems like one of the most likely ones that we've somehow not talked about up till now. I because of the long legacy there, because of the fact that the Golden Sun's just been kind of dormant for a long time. I really think that's kind of like when Pit showed up in Smash Brothers the first time. Just like, well, duh, of course. It feels like one of those things that ought to happen.
I don't know. I'm a bit more 50-50 on it. Where I do think that because of how crazy this fan servicey game has become, we're gonna get him. But I also wouldn't be surprised if we didn't.
I think we're going to see a Golden Sun game on Switch the next 2 to 3 years, and I think it makes sense to bring him out either in the main game or as DLC to go with that.
If that were the case, that would make complete sense. So, yeah, but I'm kind of with Tim on this one. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite feeling it, but hey, if he shows up, that'd be fantastic.
In a world where Octopath Traveler sold as many copies as it did, I cannot imagine Nintendo looking at their portable system, looking at a second to first party RPG and going, how do we not make this happen?
Yeah. Tingle has not returned yet. I don't think we're gonna see him.
Oh, I think maybe I'm mistaken. Didn't he appear on the Majora's Mask?
Well,
stage?
he's on the stage,
Yeah.
but he's not as an assist trophy.
Right.
So, and like we've seen characters on stage before, so that gets kind of iffy. But I don't think we're gonna see.
I
Tingle
don't think so
as
either.
a playable fighter. And then finally, not deconfirmed yet, Barbara the Bat from Jam with the Band.
Right. No.
The only, and I don't think it's gonna happen either. But the only thing that makes me go, is that not only is she an assist trophy in the past, she also had a Mii Fighter costume.
That's true. That's a good point. But I think she'll be one of the exceptions to the rule that she doesn't get turned into an actual character.
Sidebar. So again, y'all are the gurus. Who is Barbara the Bat? Because I have no idea who you're talking
she's not
about.
going to appear in the game.
Yeah, she. If you see her, you'd be like, oh, that thing. It's from the American name is Jam with the Band. I don't know the name of the Japanese version of the game, but it's a rhythm game.
Okay.
That I always thought was Rhythm Heaven, but it's not.
Okay, I don't know Barbara the Bat.
I mean, the
Thank
thing
you.
is, we're more likely to get Rhythm Heaven representation than Jam with the Band.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so now moving from assist trophies over to Mii Fighter costume evidence. Inkling's outfit, Daisy outfit, King K. Rool outfit, Chrom outfit were all in the Wii U version for Mii Fighters. All of them are now playable characters. So there is a lot of evidence there that like these things are going somewhere.
Well, I think that what that has to do with more than anything else is means. So what we're doing right now for fun, they've done for years for money. They're sitting in a room throwing these names around. So I think anybody that ends up making it in as a costume is going in because there was a long discussion. Everybody wants them in the game. Can we make it happen? That's probably all it's really indicative of. If we look at the last game, well, they were in a costume, so they're going to happen. I'm not sure that that's going to be a one for one. I think it means that it helps us understand that there are a lot of people advocating every generation for these folks to continue advancing. But I don't think it's like stepping up the stairs.
That's true when we see some of these Mii Fighter costumes. Let's go through the list.
All right.
But yeah, so those guys made it. Only 4 of them. Many did not yet, including Barbara the Bat.
Yep.
We'll see. There was a Shy Guy outfit. Don't think there's a chance of getting a Shy Guy.
No, really?
I feel like that's a little too... We'll see Waluigi before we get a Shy Guy.
I don't know. Waluigi sucks.
But there's like a memification of him that like...
Shy Guy's a Nintendo character. Waluigi's a Camelot character. And don't you forget it.
Wow.
I don't think we'll see Shy Guy.
I don't either, but I would love it. I love Shy Guys, so...
Toad outfit. If we get Toad, it'll be Captain Toad.
Yeah.
There was a Majora's Mask outfit. Even more Skull Kid evidence.
Hell yes.
There was a Black Knight outfit. The main enemy in Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, which was Ike's game. With the amount of Fire Emblem love going on, I wouldn't be surprised. And especially, I would say it was not likely at all. But there's two things that lead me to believe that it might happen. The fact that Chrom is not an Ike Echo, is a Roy Echo.
Okay.
Ike could get an Echo. And on top of that, there's a real heroes versus villains theme going on with Ultimate that we haven't seen before.
Right.
And Fire Emblem does not have any villain representation at all. So...
That makes sense.
And third point, they are a Fire Emblem character, which seems to be
and that is a third very quality point there. So funny. Next up, Viridi from Kid Icarus Uprising, which I didn't play, so I'm not too familiar with.
Right.
But there was a costume for her.
Yeah, I don't see that happening as a character either. I think Pin and Palutena are going to be it from Kid Icarus Uprising. Although I would actually love if oh god, I'm forgetting his name right now. The villain of the game appeared. He was incredible in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to play that game so bad. I played it for a bit and my hand cramped too much. And then by the time there was that,
Were you using the stand?
I was not. Like then they added the that other stick, right?
They added the giant pro, or you could use the or you could switch it. I think right.
I never did, but put it on Switch, man.
Yeah.
Like I would love to play it.
Yeah, same here. I couldn't. My hands cramped the entire time too. It was just a very uncomfortable game.
I hear it's a great game, and it seems like my cup of tea in terms of video games. I love arcade style time attack things. I love rhythm games. I love Star Fox and kind of just flight sim things. And this kind of
and those flight levels were incredible in the game. Put those in HD on the Switch. Oh my god.
Yeah. There was an Ashley outfit as a Mii fighter, and she got deconfirmed. There was a Takamaru outfit, deconfirmed. Knuckles outfit, deconfirmed. And then a Tails outfit, but we're not going to see Tails.
Are you think so? You think not?
We're gonna get Shadow before Tails.
I agree with that, absolutely. But I think Tails has a chance. I mean, that's the other long-term, well-known Sonic character, I think.
I just feel like Tails wouldn't offer anything that Dixie doesn't. Dixie would be just an Echo. Whereas Tails, you're not going to be an Echo.
Well, sure he does. He doesn't suck.
So much salt.
I can't
so
even.
Much salt. And then there was the 4 Mega Man outfits that I said earlier. I don't know. Who's most likely to be a Mega Man Echo? I missed this because I went to the bathroom.
We talked about it just from a marketing perspective. Maybe X, honestly, just because the collection just came out and that they may be trying to push in that direction. X and Mega Man's movesets in those games do feel very distinctive, and that's why it's going to be hard. X is really kind of more agile than Mega Man, and I worry about that a little bit. But with Zero already appearing someplace else, he would have been the most likely. Otherwise, Proto Man would probably be the other switch.
I think Proto Man makes the most sense. And the next up there was Dunban from Xenoblade Chronicles. He got his own outfit. I don't see him getting in, but it's weird that he had his thing. But it just shows Sakurai likes these obscure games, or more obscure games. Yeah. I'm sorry, people. There was an Isabelle outfit, even more proof. Isabelle is in this game. Flying Man from Earthbound. We won't see him.
No.
He's a stage
hazard. Which you can thankfully now turn off.
Yeah, exactly. Thank God. There was a Chocobo hat and a Geno hat. If they showed love to Geno, we're getting something.
I think so. It's time, man.
There was a Monster Hunter outfit and a Rathalos for Monster Hunter outfit. So we already saw Rathalos in the game in some way, which is interesting. I think Monster Hunter character is possible, if not likely.
I think Palico's really likely.
So then the final thing here is the Bandai Namco characters, of which there were many represented in the Mii Fighter outfits. Heihachi from Tekken, Akira Yuki from Virtua Fighter, Jackie Bryant from Virtua Fighter, Lloyd Irving from Tales of Symphonia, and Gil from Babylonian Castle Saga. I think most of these are just Sakurai being Sakurai. And it's just like, those are just things he likes. I think Heihachi has an undeserving likelihood of being in this game.
I would not be shocked to see another Bandai Namco representative.
I feel like we have to get one.
Yeah, I do too.
Pac-Man's not enough. They're making the game.
Right. They made the previous ones, and now they're making this one. I think it has to, one of those has to happen, or some kind of character.
Well, I went off earlier about taking Lode Runner and Bomberman from Hudson, and then I started, I rolled into hey, Mr. Driller and Dig Dug. Those are Namco characters. Mr. Driller would not be a terrible choice. Mr. Driller with a Dig Dug Echo would not be a terrible choice.
Am I wrong in saying Mr. Driller is a assist trophy?
I don't remember.
You're thinking of Drill Dozer, I think.
Yeah, I think Drill
Yes.
Dozer. Mr. Driller would be a fun one. It wouldn't be big over here. Something, again, from a Japanese perspective, if you're going nostalgic, something from Tower of Druaga is a beloved Namco franchise in Japan, something that people are very nostalgic about. And seeing something come out of that maybe would make sense for Namco. Namco was involved in the publishing of some Dark Souls stuff.
Dark Souls is interesting. I've seen it come up before. Don't see it happening, but maybe as DLC. I think the DLC world will be radically different, and I think Cloud proved that before. But once they kind of give us a hint of what DLC is going to look like, I think that's when we're going to get fucking crazy. But until then, Bandai Namco rep, I think Heihachi is the easy answer.
Yeah. We
Even
are.
though Tekken's never been on a Nintendo system.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Has it?
No, I don't think so.
Also, we already passed it, so forgive me here. But this year, Square Enix, this is the 40th anniversary of Space Invaders.
We're not getting Space Invaders,
Telling you,
Jared.
I could see a Space Invader.
Hey, we did get a Space Invaders style stage in Splatoon 2's DLC, the Octo
did.
expansion.
True.
Yeah.
It's 40th anniversary. That's Square Enix. Taito is, that's the part we think of Taito as an obsolete company. They're just a boutique brand now for Square Enix. That's a larger company with a
Something
bigger
going
that. Yeah.
Before we move on, this episode of the Kind of Funny Gamescast is brought to you by Movement Watches. By now, I'm sure you guys have all heard about Movement Watches. My brother loves it, wears it every day. Kevin, you wearing yours right now? Not right now? Okay. Kevin wears his all the time. He loves his Movement Watch. He is never late, let me tell you that. Unless, maybe he was late today because he wasn't wearing it, but I didn't notice. Movement has come far from being crowd-funded kids working out of a living room. In the past year, they've not only introduced a ton of new watch collections for both men and women, but also they've expanded to sunglasses and fashion-forward bracelets for her. I love the glasses everywhere, every time I travel. I'm not the biggest sunglass guy, but whenever I go to Austin, whenever I go to San Diego, and the sun is just overbearing, my Movement sunglasses are what I bust out. Gia loves her multiple pairs. She loves her watches. We just went to Cisco's wedding, and Gia wore her Movement watch to the wedding and got many compliments on it, including from the dragon himself. So there's that. Movement watches start at just $95 at a department store. You're looking at $400 to $500. Movement figured out that by selling online, they're able to cut out the middleman and retail markup, providing the best possible price. We're talking classic design. We're talking quality construction. And guess what? We're talking styled minimalism. You can get 15% off today with free shipping and free returns by going to mvmt.com/kinda. See why Movement keeps growing. Check out their expanding collection. Go to mvmt.com/kinda. Join the movement. All right, gentlemen. We've talked about characters. We went on for a very long time. And we're going to keep going. We're going to keep this train moving. Cool, Greg. Damn it. Can you give me some of that recap juice? Stages. Gotta
Stages.
talk about them stages.
There's only a few of them to talk about.
I know, right? So here's the thing. We've pretty much seen so many announcements, so much conversation about the now 103 stages confirmed in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Or over 300 if you count all their variants.
Variants including Battlefield, Big Battlefield, and Final Destination versions. Quality of life, this game's all about it. 8-player battles can now take place on any stage. In the last game, it was only on Big Battlefield. So
Right.
that's a really cool addition. I love that.
Yeah.
They introduced a new stage morph feature that, I'm being honest, seems kind of unnecessary.
No, I
but,
fucking love this.
Why not?
No, this is fucking brilliant. So, because one thing that Smash Bros. Has been kind of lacking is so the game's all about crossovers, right? But every stage has always been based around just one series, one franchise.
Holy shit, this really is the true PlayStation All-Stars.
It is, exactly. It's taking that basic idea, but doing it better in a way. So, no, I fucking love this. You can combine whatever franchises you want into whatever, whichever ones you want to hop between. I love this idea. Just really switches it up even more so.
The thing I love, thank you, Kev. The thing I love most about it is the music we talked about earlier. Over 800 tracks. The songs are no longer tied to each stage; they're tied to franchise. Would you want another one?
Sure, I'll take one. Yeah.
Kev, you got him.
Kevin, he's just
Thank you.
Thanks.
Kevin just helping everybody
He's
out
the
here.
fucking
Thanks,
man.
Kevin.
Yeah, you are, Kevin. Thanks.
But songs are now tied to franchise. So what I like most about the stage morph is you can just kind of choose like different songs that you like and then just morph between those stages.
It's such a great idea because it already kind of felt like it should have been that way before originally, where you'd have songs appear on stages that they don't fit in. So yeah, just putting it together by franchise makes so much sense.
Yeah. You can finally toggle hazards on and off in a level. It's like
Thank
they're
God.
pretty much just giving you options that we've all wanted forever. Love that so much.
Play the way you want.
the Omega stages in Wii U was like probably my favorite addition that game had, besides eight-player battles.
Why was that?
Because, let's be real, when me and my friends play, and that's not just me and my core friend group, it's me and my work friend group, it's me and my any friend group I've ever had that plays Smash Bros. We go in, Final Destination only, over and over and over. I will never forget during the Brawl days, my best friend's girlfriend walking in being like, if I hear that fucking song one more goddamn time, I swear to God. And let's be real, the Brawl Final Destination theme is the best
Oh,
Final
it's the
Destination
most hype theme
of all
Yeah.
time.
It is great.
But I get where she's coming from. And so the fact that Wii U introduced this way to play Final Destination stages, but listening to different music, seeing different environments, it's like kind of the best of both worlds.
I love the idea that you play a game that has more options than any other game ever crafted by human beings, and then immediately turn 95% of them off every time you play.
It's true. It's the only way. It's not the only way. The thing about Smash Bros, I love
It's your
everything. about it.
favorite way.
I love single player. I love multiplayer. I love all the things. But yeah, there is a purist form to it. That
Play how you
everyone
want.
just kind of understands. You know what I mean?
No,
We're gonna
everyone
play.
doesn't.
How do you play Smash Bros?
I played both ways. So during the IGN era, I got big into the Final Destination only, no items. But I love playing, with items on every stage. I like both the competitive nature of playing with no items and on Final Destination, but I also love the complete chaos of bombs flying everywhere, of assist trophies popping up out of nowhere and doing God knows what.
And now, if you kill assist trophies, you get a kill for it.
You
which
get
is
points.
Ridiculous.
It's really wild, yeah.
Which way does Fran play?
Fran plays like we play.
Don't play the way Fran plays. That's always the answer.
We're now
Don't
giving
play
it.
the way
Finally,
Fran
he has
plays.
another option. Fran Mirabella would only play as Peach. He would refuse to play as any other character. So now, hopefully, Daisy will give him some options.
A shudder just ran through my spine being reminded of that, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, but yeah, I was joking. Play how you want. Play how it's fun
but I
for
love
you.
this game gives you so many options. And again, when I play competitively, quote unquote, with my friends,
Right.
casual competitive, it's Final Destination. We do that, but it's like there's the event mode and like so much of the single player stuff. I love playing with items. I love fucking around and just having dumb.
And it's the
shit.
same. I give you crap, but I actually Final Destination is perfect for when you just want to sit down for a while and focus.
And I love the modes that they're adding in this. I mean, stamina mode's always been a thing, but there's more focus on it. And adding the Final Smash charge bar is going to be so much fun,
No, that
especially
is-
because they're weaker.
That is brilliant. Yeah, I think it really opens up Final Smashes to a much broader demographic now, because I think a lot of people would just turn off items before. They never see the Smash Balls, never see the Final Smashes. And this is something I've been wanting for a while, because I think there's so much more you could do with Final Smashes with it not being tied to the random element where the ball's going. So I'm really excited for this mode, especially because with how it might affect the balance of the game. Because now if you're playing with a Final Smash meter, you have to take into consideration how good the Final Smash might be.
Yeah.
So it really gives you an additional move that a lot of people didn't have before.
Yeah.
I'm super stoked for it. So, talking about stages, there were 9 in Super Smash Bros. 64. There were 29 in Melee. There were 41 in Brawl, 42 in the 3DS version, 56 in Wii U. There are 103 stages in Smash Bros.
That is nuts.
Freaking ridiculous.
103, and that's not including the variations. Now, what's interesting to me is in this Direct, they were very deliberate about their phrasing, about the way that they were talking about things.
As of now, or
And then,
things of that
as of
nature,
now,
right?
there are over 800 music tracks, whatever. They made it very clear there's 103 stages in the game. They didn't really give it room to grow,
Right.
which I thought was interesting, because there are only 4 new levels we've seen.
Yep.
New Donk City Hall, Great Plateau Tower, Moray Towers, Dracula's Castle. Do you think we're going to see more new stages?
100%. Like, I will bet money on this. There's no way. I've seen a lot of people who advocate for the fact that we've seen them all. This is all there is. There's no way we go 4 to 5 months until release and we don't see any more stages at all. Particularly given the fact that there's also more characters coming, and I don't think there's a chance that every one of them won't have some kind of stage to go with it. So yeah, I think we'll absolutely see more stages. And there's a fact that on the stage selection screen, there are 6 more blank spots left. So
Blank spots have proven in the past to not mean anything.
they may not
I'm
mean
with
anything,
you that
but
there
yeah,
will be more.
right.
I think that if there's another third-party character announced, that character is going to come with a stage. I do think that this is almost certainly going to happen. After Dracula's Castle and Richter and Simon, I think that if you see somebody else coming along and it's a third-party addition to the main game, they'll have a stage to come along with it.
From all our conversation today, has there been a new third-party character that we've talked about?
that would have their own.
Gino would be probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
and-
kind of think he'd need one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what?
His music's been in the game as well previously.
Right. So if we're talking Gino, what would the stage be?
I mean, it would almost have to be the forest.
forest,
Yeah, where you
okay.
meet
Yeah.
him.
All right. That makes sense.
Banjo-Kazooie, though, definitely would need his own stage.
I think that,
Their own
as you said,
stage.
I think any third party character,
Yeah.
maybe even like contractually, they'd want, well, wait, Simon's getting a stage. Are we getting a stage? That
Yeah.
kind of thing too. Plus, it helps highlight the character. I think it's exciting to have. Also, I still haven't gotten my Super Mario 3 Sun stage, and until I get that, I'm going to keep screaming. How has that not
Oh my
happened?
god.
So as of August 21st, there are only 19 stages in Smash Brothers history that are not in this game. And with how much they're going into this ultimate, we want everything, everyone is here mentality, it's kind of weird that they're not in, right? Let's go stage by stage and talk about it.
All right.
From 64, we're missing Sector Z.
This is a bummer to me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because it's the thing is the Great Fox is kind of overdone. We have Corneria already. We have is it Venom? I think but the thing is, Sector Z was very different to the others because it was huge, especially for the game it appeared in. It was just a massive stage. So I want it back. It was one of my favorite stages in the original game. It was almost the final destination of that game. I feel like
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, because and the only problem was the fucking
our
R wing.
wings. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was the closest thing we had to just a flat stage to fight on in
Right.
64.
Yeah.
Because we didn't get Pokemon Stadium until Melee. But yeah, I want to see Sector Z back. I feel like the only reason it's not is because we have Corneria, and I feel like they're seen as the same, but they're not the same.
They're not the same
They're
at
not
all.
the same at all. So I'm hoping we get it.
Yeah, the scale's way different.
I'm
so.
wondering if that's just a situation where you're sitting down with the production spreadsheet a year ago going, here are the goal stages, here's where we are. We haven't built Corneria yet because we haven't built Sector Z because we deprioritized it over Corneria. We'll get to it if we can. We can't get to it. Just cut it. People will live. Maybe it's just that.
Everyone is here, man. I don't know. Planet Zebes, the Metroid stage from 64, is another example of, well, there's Brinstar and Melee.
Right.
They're different.
They are very different. This is also my favorite Metroid stage of the entire series. I think it has a greater vertical gameplay than the other one. So
I concur with that.
Yeah.
I agree.
And then the last one from 64, that was never really a stage, but is the Metal Crystal Caverns that you fought Metal Mario on as a boss in classic mode. Its own unique stage that we never got to play as, which was kind of weird. I don't see it coming back. But again, this is the first time that Smash Brothers is referencing itself
Right.
as a weird history piece.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be fantastic. I could maybe see it appearing as part of whatever this game's story or adventure mode might be, like as just a really neat callback where you maybe still find Metal Mario or a whole team of them. Who knows? But I think it'd be cool if it appears, but it wasn't much of a stage either. So
When we look at these stages, we could think about this. So we've been talking about how every fighter we add can upset the balance, but let's not forget that every stage we add has a similar effect to how the game works. When you change stages, when you introduce new stages, you got to see how every fighter works on every stage. Can you imagine just the play testing that goes into that?
I love a thing that they made clear in this last direct, that the Final Destination Omega versions of all these stages in Smash Ultimate are all the exact same and have the same properties. Because in Wii U, some of them didn't.
Right.
The Wrecking Crew level, for example, like there wasn't it was on a building, which meant the edges worked
get caught
differently.
underneath.
You get caught differently. So I like that they're like, fuck that. Sakurai's moved away from the competitive nature since Melee so hard, and I feel like Brawl was like the direct answer to that, where he's like there's tripping and stop playing. This is a fun game. Stop being competitive.
Right.
But Wii U was kind of like here's a middle ground. I feel like Ultimate is them being like, all right, look, we get this is a competitive game. We get that esports is a thing now. It wasn't when Melee came out.
Yeah.
Right? And we see it even with the training mode that they added here. There's a lot of little things that are added that are really speaking to the hardcore fighting game community. So, I don't know. I'm interested in this. Moving on to the Melee stages. Icicle Mountain, the Ice Climber stage.
Oh, wow.
that can stay dead to me.
Me too. So that and moving on to Brawl, Rumble Falls.
Yeah, fuck Rumble Falls too. The only reason, here's why I think Rumble Falls has a chance of coming back though, because they introduced now ladder attacks in this game, and that stage had ladders as I recall, so that'd be a great opportunity to use them.
Yeah.
Even though I hate how that stage played.
Dude, fuck that stage.
It was a horrible stage,
It sucks
yeah.
so bad.
But so far, we've gone through 5 stages. 2 of them have close, at least, aesthetic duplicates. that will be in the game. One of them is so small that it's barely a stage, and 2 are stages that are generally reviled.
Exactly.
So,
Right.
I mean,
and to clarify, they're reviled for the same way. They're both vertically scrolling stages.
Which
Yeah.
it's just bad.
It's not fun. Yeah.
Now, if anything, Icicle Mountain makes sense because it's in the style of the Ice Climber game.
Right.
So, like, I feel like there's a better argument for that.
That's true.
And I feel like stage morphing, introducing that could get interesting. Like the vertical scrolling stages, like that might
That's true.
cause some issues. I don't know. I'd be fine not seeing these back.
if I'm going to play a vertical stage in Smash Brothers, I want to be the waterfall from Contra.
That'd be awesome.
That would be.
Next up, we got Flat Zone 1. And then later we see Flat Zone 2 and Brawl. But both of those are kind of like
They're in
greatest
X.
hits in
Sure.
Flat Zone X.
Right.
So cool, fine. We lost Mute City from Melee. It's very close to Port Town that was added in Brawl. I loved the Mute City stage. Like I'm kind of sad to see it go.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it back. I don't know why it necessarily needs to be back because it's not like the game doesn't have a lot of very similar stages as it stands now. But there also is the SNES version of Mute City from the 3DS version that is in the game. So I don't know.
And the thing is, too, they actually did they rename Mute City? No, I think it was always known as Mute City SNES, wasn't it, on 3DS? Or did
Yeah.
they rename it in
remember.
the Ultimate version?
I think it was always the same name.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, if they renamed it, then that might be evidence for the previous stage coming back. So
I'm just stoked we got Fountain of Dreams because I thought that stage was fucking dead. And
it's such a gorgeous stage. It looks so good now.
And the big reason that it didn't make Brawl was because the reflections caused too much fucking power of the system. So
Not
it
so
looks
much
better
problem
than ever
anymore.
now. Yeah, so that's great. Mushroom Kingdom Melee version. I don't see it coming back. It was very similar to Mushroom Kingdom 64.
but worse.
But a worse stage. And we got the 64 one, so I'm fine with that.
Right.
And then finally, the one that I want back more than anything,
Oh, man.
Poke Floats. Where are you
no,
at?
here's what I want. I want literally every stage back except for Poke Floats. That would be just stick it to anyone who wants Poke Floats back. Fuck that stage.
They want it back so
I
bad.
Why
hate
do you
it so
why do you
bad.
want Pokefloats back?
For the exact same reason you love Smash Brothers, of just liking the chaos, liking the Poke Floats is one of the most infuriating stages of all fucking
is.
time. You'd be on this goddamn balloon and it would just drop out of nowhere and kill you. And you're like, why?
Yeah,
So much fun.
all about chaos.
It truly is.
Moving on to Brawl, Rumble Falls, like we talked about, Flat Zone 2, like we talked about, PictoChat 1. An interesting one to lose because we got PictoChat 2,
Right.
and PictoChat 2 sucks. PictoChat 1,
PictoChat 1
didn't
really good.
suck.
No, I like PictoChat 1, and
So,
I'm surprised
I don't
to see
know.
it go.
Yeah,
That one.
it's-
I don't know
it's
if
weird.
it's just because PictoChat is a thing of the past, and they don't want to. But again, that's history, so
It's
why get rid of
history,
it?
so why not fucking have it?
Yeah,
Right.
it's
I don't know. And then Mushroomy Kingdom 1-2. I imagine it's in there.
I think so.
I don't think it'll be its own stage. I think it'll be like it was in Brawl, where Mushroomy Kingdom gives you random for one of the two.
Right.
I'm actually kind of surprised to see that stage back. in
I like
Ultimate.
I like that stage.
I did too.
It's a
Yeah.
cool, fun thing.
It got a lot of shit
Weird-
from people,
weird
but it's a
aesthetic
weird stage.
choice.
Yeah. Here's the original Mario Brothers level, but like 100,000 years in the future for some reason.
Like,
but,
all right.
sure.
A couple ones we lost from the 3DS Pac Maze. The Pac-Man
Right.
maze.
And probably for a good reason because it was dependent on everyone having their own screen, which granted you could still do on the Switch, but you would have to be, you could only play it in, wireless mode.
Which
so.
is not going to happen.
Right,
for
no,
people
why
playing
would you if you
Smash.
have-
So Golden Plains, the new Super Mario Brothers 2 level on the 3DS had a similar thing where it's like there was different shit going on with coins, but I feel like that was an easier thing to solve for, and
Right.
that level is in Ultimate.
Yeah.
Looking at Pac-Maze, I will be kind of sad if they don't figure that out.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need that gimmick. Like, maybe just make a new version, but I feel like Pac-Man's fucking maze, if Pac-Man's in the game,
Yeah,
is worthy of
Miss Pac-Man.
of figuring, and,
There you
and
go.
that's my thing. The fact that we haven't seen Pac-Maze.
Right.
Maybe Miss Pac-Man in a trailer.
That would be a good way of doing it, especially because Pac World cannot stand as Pac-Man's sole representation. in this-
Pac-Land.
Pac-Land, yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Jesus. Fucking
It's horrible.
Like, I thought I didn't like Rumble Falls. You know what I mean? And not that no, you know what? That level might be my least favorite level. It's ugly as sin.
That's a thing, right? At least Rumble Falls looks okay. It looks passable.
Well, Pac-Land is an ugly game. It's a terrible game. It's not fun.
Why is it represent? I hate it,
Because
man.
it's history again. Because
It looks like a
despite
fucking a kindergartner doing MS Paint.
because despite the fact that it's an ugly game and it's not fun and it's not well designed, it's Super Mario Brothers almost a year before Super Mario Brothers, just done
Right.
badly, and that is important to history. And I think that's part of why
it
it's
did
in there.
have parallax scrolling, I think, before it was a big thing.
Yeah,
right?
they had a lot of interesting things in that game.
And then Rainbow Road, which might be one of the biggest bummers of stages that I don't think we're going to see back.
You don't think it's coming back?
3DS. I don't think it's going to be back because it heavily relied on assets straight from Mario Kart 7. We've seen a bunch of other levels get full graphical upgrades, so I don't think that that's nail in the coffin for it. But I don't see them kind of making it Mario Kart 8 styled or going too crazy into that. I'd love to see it though, because Rainbow Road is so iconic.
Go ahead. After you.
The sad thing is that most of Mario Kart stages in Smash so far kind of suck.
Yeah.
Like you have Mario Circuit, and then you have I think Luigi Circuit or whatever the DS one was. The first track in both games. No, it's not. I take that back. It's not. Either way, they're boring stages. Rainbow Road is actually was at least visually interesting. So
I think it's one of two things. I think either we do get a Rainbow Road 8 type stage, or the Star Fox Racing game is still real, and we get a Star Fox Racing stage in its place as DLC.
Dang.
I just want Rainbow Road, man.
Yeah.
There's one on the list that I'm like,
It seems wrong that Rainbow Road's not there.
Moving on to Wii U. God, there's so few stages that aren't in this game.
It's nuts. Yeah.
Pyrosphere. The reason it's not in is Ridley was the main mechanic of that level.
And it sucked. It wasn't a fun stage.
It wasn't at all.
Yeah.
It looked kind of cool, but like, there's enough Metroid stages, I think. We don't need it. But like, at the same time, it wouldn't be hard to just figure out a new gimmick.
Right.
Whatever it is.
Kraid jumps out of the lava instead.
Kraid already has his level, though.
Yeah, I know.
Crystal
I was
Jets.
being, it's not going to work.
You have Meta Ridley, maybe, right?
Is it Meta Ridley?
Or
alt costume? Mecha Ridley?
yes, I believe so. Right?
Now let that stage die. I'm fine with that. Whatever.
And then one of the weirdest ones, probably the weirdest stage that we haven't seen yet, Woolly World. Yoshi's Woolly World.
That is strange. It's particularly with the new one supposedly coming out at some point.
New one coming out at some point. Weird that game got delayed as much as it did.
Yeah.
But with Woolly World, like, you'd think that the Wii U stages are the easiest ones to port over.
They're
And
HD already?
That has no reason to not be in this game.
I agree.
It's not like it had some shit that no one liked. The aesthetic was kind of unique.
Yeah.
Do you think there's an eternal thing going on where it's like a Woolly World 2 situation where they want a stage tied into the new game?
But I mean, when you look at all the rest of the stages of this game has, like, it's just, this one stands out as like,
Well, maybe somebody's sitting in there.
there's no gimmick in the stage.
Obviously,
There's no-
I don't know this, but maybe someone's sitting internally going, well, we've got a Woolly World 2 coming out, and I want a Woolly World 2 stage, and we're not going to have two Woolly Worlds
So
in
what
our
would
game.
be kind of cool about that, though, there is in fact a Woolly World 2 stage in this game, is that Woolly World is also the only stage from Smash Bros. Wii U, I believe, for a game that wasn't even out yet.
Yeah,
so that would be the
right.
exact same case this time as well. They pulled it off again.
But see, they wouldn't, because there is a Yoshi game coming out already next year that's not Woolly World.
Well, right, but I mean, it's basically Woolly World.
Yeah. It's similar.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we just go full Epic Yarn and forget Woolly World entirely.
Woolly World's better than Epic Yarn, and we all fucking know it.
I like Woolly World, but I think Epic Yarn's a better game.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
especially with two people.
I don't know, man. Jungle Hijinks. This is another one that I'm a little bummed to see go away. This is the one based on Tropical Freeze where there was two planes.
It was so different. Yeah.
Yeah, it was something different going on. I liked, you can go in the barrels and they shoot you into the background or foreground. I enjoyed that. I feel like if it gets cut in the final game, it's probably because of the stage morphing and that fucking that up.
Maybe.
But
Oh, that makes sense.
I don't know though.
I mean, it'd be such a great stage for 8-player Smash. In fact, it might have been in the original game. I can't remember, but I feel like it has to come back.
Well, what?
So,
Am I wrong in saying that in 8-player Smash in Wii U, you could only do Big Battlefield?
yeah, you are. No, there were a few stages that you could play 8-player Smash in.
There was a few. There wasn't just the one?
Yeah, there were several. And that might have been one of them. I didn't play 8-player Smash too often. So, regardless, I think that'd be a great candidate for a stage. I hope it comes back because it was so different and it's more representative of Donkey Kong's more recent outings.
And they are showing a lot of love to Donkey Kong Returns and Tropical Freeze. Like the remixes of K. Rool's theme song is totally done in the style of Tropical Freeze. So
Can we talk real quick about how fucking amazing Gangplank Galleon is?
the remix
It
is so good.
so
I
good.
like the one for Brawl, but this one is choice.
Just blows it away.
So-
yeah.
I just can't believe K. Rool's in this game. I can't believe he's actually
so
in
good.
the game.
I'm so
Oh
hyped.
man.
I lost my shit during that trailer, by the way. Like,
Yeah?
Like, my emotions, I think it was the case for anyone who grew up in Donkey Kong Country games. Like, when DDD revealed himself, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And then King K. Rool pops up. Oh, my God.
So good.
That was completely not my reaction.
Orbital Gate Assault, the Star Fox level, the assault-based level that
Yeah.
went on way too long. that had
Yeah.
More hazards than I think any other stage in history. Beautiful stage.
It is.
Like that's the thing is it reminds me of Big Blue from Melee, where it's like there's or Porca Floats even, where it's like you got to keep moving and
constantly
like
on the move, right.
fighting with other people is like just part of the battle. I'd be kind of sad if it went away, even because I love the Omega version. Like just being able to have that stage and fight on it would be great. And then finally, Miiverse. Miiverse doesn't exist anymore, so they can find ways around it, but I just don't think they're going to.
I don't even know why they bothered originally with Miiverse as a stage. It's just Battlefield.
Miiverse, dude.
I think Miiverse, again, from the historical perspective, might be one of those things that we come back to Smash Brothers from now. Like, oh yeah, Miiverse is back. Remember when Miiverse existed? You know, just like kind of a celebration of the company's hardware history, platform history. But right now, the wounds are too fresh.
I want Miiverse to come back with every message that appears in the background to be hand drawn by Sakurai himself.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, that's figure out a way to do that. Like, I don't think it needs to be new messages or whatever.
It
I think
doesn't.
you just jump back 2 generations and make a Mii Plaza stage. I'd be fine with that.
That'd be awesome.
I'd rather spend time in the Mii Plaza, honestly.
And then the final thing, like those are all the 19. The final thing is Tim Gettys wish list.
Uh-oh.
I want different, and I know this is so particular, but I want the different versions of Final Destination to be choosable.
Dude, I'm right there with you. Absolutely.
Because we haven't seen the new Final Destination in action for too long. We've seen bits and pieces of it. But I just fucking love Brawl's Final Destination so much.
It's so fucking epic. It's so epic.
not just the music,
what decides it? Is it just that incredible theme?
The music's great. The music's the fucking best. But it's just like the journey from the different colors, from the bright to the dark, and like going through where it's like you're in a portal and then you see like Earth or whatever the world is. I love that. I loved the Wii U version where it was kind of the clashing like blue and red,
the fire and ice almost.
Feel. Like I loved that too. But then that's the thing is like, I want to be able to play on all of them. We've never been able to choose Smash 64 as a Final Destination stage, and I love the look of that one as well. Like there's just so much shit, and like that is Smash Bros. Up its own ass.
The sirens are on our side here. That's not.
But I want that. I fucking want that so bad, and I just don't love the weird architecture on the back of the Smash Ultimate stage. Where, like I like it when it's just a fucking. There's nothing on this. It's a platform.
Right.
Whereas this one has a bit too much. It feels too Battlefieldy.
Yeah, I can see that. No, I'm right there with you. I think this would be a great way to pay homage to the previous Smash Brothers games, and I think perhaps the ultimate way, particularly with the first one not being playable at all. So
Here we go. Artwork.
Oh shit!
Oh,
yes.
look at that!
All the Smash Bros. Brawl fucking thing. I love it.
Yeah.
It's hard for you guys to see. Google Orioto, ORIOTO, Smash Bros. And you can see that. Beautiful artwork. But yeah, we got to do it, man.
Yeah.
The good thing is, Smash Brothers Final Destination, we know that in Ultimate, it's going to have all the music at the very least.
Right.
All the different versions, so.
What we need is echo stages now. That's how you handle it.
Wow.
Echo stages, dude.
Wow.
Let's go. Oh, man.
That is a pretty cool idea, actually.
I am on my last sheet of paper here. This is exciting. Final thing of the show.
This is epic.
Oh, no,
This
you know
it
what?
is.
Epic.
It's not the final thing. There's one more thing to the show after
but
this.
the show is epic.
It-
I'm really having a great time here, Tim.
2 more things going on.
All right.
Second to last, modes. All right.
Oh.
We've seen the main menu. We got Smash. We got Games and More. We got Vault. We got Online. And we got something that was blanked out in the Direct, which people have done a lot of internet sleuthing of looking frame by frame and doing some Photoshop. And it looks like it says Spirits, which is very, very interesting. I was saying this earlier in the show. I love the layout of the menu for this Smash more than any other game in the past.
It's very clean looking.
Just the UI, the way it's put
the
together.
UI, because the UI in Smash is probably, besides tripping, the worst offense that Smash has ever.
In Wii U in particular, it was garbage.
And
Especially
Brawl.
with
Both of them.
Brawl. I mean, I like Brawl way more than Wii U's at least. So, but yeah.
Wii U. The problem with Wii U, I don't think it was necessarily the menu layout. It was the fact that they prioritized such bullshit at a top level. No one wants Smash Tour.
The biggest fucking icon
No
on the-
one wants that. Like, it's just bad.
Yep.
Whereas this, I really like how this is laid out. For Games and More, we can imagine we're going to get Break the Targets back. I'm hoping they go back to the old style of every character having its own.
There's no way they're going back. I mean,
With
I would
this many
love that.
characters?
Not with 70 characters, 70 plus
I hope
characters.
so, man. I hate, like, Break the Target sucked from
It did
Brawl.
suck, yeah.
Like, it actually sucked.
When then Wii U did the weird Angry Birds version of it.
Yeah. Oh, that sucked too. Like, there's so much shit where it's like, and the problem, one of my biggest problems with Smash is as the franchise went on, a lot of it became about quantity over quality.
I do agree with that.
In terms of modes, that's why I feel like Melee really succeeded. Yes, Brawl had Subspace, which was like, love it or hate it.
A bold experiment.
A bold experiment,
Bingo,
and it
yeah.
succeeded in many ways, failed in many others. But when you look at Melee, it's like its event modes had purpose. Its Break the Targets had purpose. Smash 64, Board the Platforms was awesome because it was actually a test of skill with each individual character. Whereas you get to Brawl and it kind of feels like a shitty mobile game. And I feel like a lot of the modes, single player modes that they've, and even co-op modes or whatever that they've added since have been shitty mobile game ripoffs.
So do you care, would you rather just see the modes taken out and then focus entirely on this mega content drop for the characters and the stages, or are there 2 or 3 classic modes that you just have to have?
My favorite thing about Smash Brothers, besides playing with my friends, has always been event mode.
Okay.
The like Smash Melee had 50 events that were thought out and fucking awesome. And I feel like as the franchise has evolved, they've gotten weaker and weaker.
Right.
I liked what Wii U did of having the like easy, medium, hard modes for each of the events. And with the roster of characters we have in Smash Ultimate, there's more opportunity to come up with creative event modes that are super cool and fun. And
So
diverse.
what's a perfect event in your mind for a game like this?
Well, like I was saying earlier, just like imagine an 8-player match of the most iconic video game characters of all time.
Yeah.
So in a way, we're kind of already seeing that with classic mode, in which we can see like little subtitles for each character you're playing as, and they do seem to be themed. Like Kirby, I think, had like an eating theme.
Classic mode, what we're seeing so far,
Yeah.
we've only seen like 3 different screenshots of what classic mode looks like. In the previous games, there's usually about 10 different bullet points that you kind of hit. And there's bigger bullet points that represent the break the targets or build the platform or boss modes. In this one, they're all the same size. So I'm interested to see if maybe classic mode doesn't even involve any gimmicky modes at all. They're all just fights.
Okay.
But each character seems to have its own headline to represent their story mode or their classic mode, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Kirby has Gourmet Clash. Donkey Kong has Journey to New Donk City. And Roy has A Journey of Swords. I really I like that, and it excites me that there might be more kind of love and care being put into classic mode, because that's another mode that I feel in the last 2 or 3 games has lost its luster.
Oh, totally, yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to actually playing classic mode for once in a while.
Yeah, because even the 3DS one had that weird like pachinko machine type thing, or that's not the right word.
Yeah,
but
I feel like a man out of my element on this one because there has never been a Smash Brothers mode outside of the core gameplay that I cared about.
Dude, got to give event mode a try, man.
I mean, I can go back to it. It's been a while.
You should, man. Event mode is special. It's really good.
I trust you on this. You're almost always right about this stuff.
Adventure mode in Melee was like what I want to see come back the most. But I want a mix between adventure mode and Subspace Emissary.
Okay.
So what was cool about adventure mode too? It was the first time we were seeing a lot of those properties brought into. At the time, it felt like an HD generation, or 3D, I should say.
Yeah.
Like seeing these fully realized 3D environments for these games. So that was part of the reason why it was so awesome. Now I think they have to lean into the crossover angle. Like, what else can we do with these properties?
Yeah. Cool. I mean, you're right, because back then, Melee, when it came out in 2001,
December, yeah.
playing at like the first stage where it was like kind of a Mushroom Kingdom inspired
Looked gorgeous.
thing, where you see like Mario Golf in the in the background and all this stuff going on. That was the first time we got anything close to a 2D Mario game since Super Mario World.
Yeah, it had been a really long time.
And New Super Mario Brothers is still 5 years away at that point, I think.
For that kind of game, nobody was interested in making it anymore.
But going through the adventure mode, like going from that, going into the Zelda level where it was like
Zelda 2 level, I believe.
The Zelda 2 level, and you go into this giant dungeon, and like you have to kind of figure out a pattern to get through. It was super simple, and it wasn't great.
No.
But it was like, oh, at least there's some thought put into this. And I feel like, and going through, and then you get to the Metroid level, and you have to get out as fast as possible. Like, there was a lot of love put into bits and pieces of that mode that we lost in Subspace Emissary, but we gained all of the CG cutscenes that were fantastic and
So
amazing.
good.
You love
So-
those cutscenes so
Dude,
much. I mean,
oh
I
my
loved them
God.
too when I watched them the first time, but
They're
there
so
seems to be a
good.
really special place in your heart.
Oh
for them.
yeah.
Well, because here's why. Because even within the context of a Smash match, every interaction a character can have with another is always the same. Like punching DD in the face is no different than punching Wario in the face or
Yeah.
Cloud. But in these cutscenes, we actually got to see these characters, their personalities come through and see how they interact with a different personality.
Without voiceover.
That's
It
right.
was all just told through
Like a silent movie
animation.
almost.
Yeah.
And I did like that part.
It was so great. So in the last direct, we saw a couple modes talked about, including Smashdown, which is a new mode that has players go through the entire roster in a series of fights. Once a character is used, they can't be used again. This is a perfect example of what I'm talking about of like, sometimes less is more. Like, we don't need all this extra shit. That sounds like a backwards version of All-Star mode that we don't even fucking need. Like, get that out of here. I'm glad tournament mode's back. That is a feature that was needed. The training mode is getting a significant revamp with its own stage focused entirely on analyzing data about characters from the reach of different attacks, seeing the trajectories at low, medium, high damage and all that. That's awesome. We don't know if Break the Targets and Board the Platforms are back, but we can expect at least a bastardized version of Break the Targets to make a return.
That's a fair bet, yeah.
But they did announce Squad Strike,
Hell yes.
which is a 3v3 or 5v5 team fight where you pick a slate of characters and go through each in a series of battles. Now, you say hell yes. Why?
I've been advocating for a while that I think Smash Brothers needed, or not needed, but it would be nice if we had some kind of tag team mode, or take the one element that kind of worked in Smash Tour, which was what you had once at the end of the match, you could use all the characters you've grabbed up to that point as stocks, and you'd cycle through them. I thought that was a really cool idea. So the fact they're taking that idea and making its own mode is brilliant. Being able to play through multiple characters in a single match is such a cool idea. I wish maybe there was still a proper tag team mode so you could cycle between the same two characters if you wanted to, but I think this is a great new addition that will really change too how you think about how to pair characters. You know, like, do I want to lead with my strongest character? Do I want to use them as my backup? Like, how do you want to go about that?
So I agree with you entirely. Now, my worry is that's not what this mode is.
Oh shit!
When you look at the screenshots we've seen, at the top of the page, there's a descriptor of timed match, 2.5 minutes, whatever it is. It is kind of implying that you're just going through 5 different versus matches back to back to back, instead of it being one match in the style of Smash Tour.
Oh man, I have to rewatch this because that was not my impression at all.
It wasn't my
But,
impression
yeah.
either. And then I was saying the exact same thing you were, and people in the comments were like, Tim, you should rewatch that. So
Oh,
I'm
shit.
worried. I feel like it could go either way. If it's what you're talking about, this is going to be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
If it's just
If
a bunch of matches,
If it's not what I think it is, what's the point? You can do that yourself.
because they mentioned like, oh, it's built around passing the controller back and forth between different people. They're not going to have you do that in the middle of one match, right? So I don't know. I'm concerned. Just putting out a little
Man,
pessimism there.
this hurts, man.
Yeah.
I hope this isn't the case. So
Because the mode you're talking about
Yeah.
would be brilliant for
Right.
Smash Bros. And I think it'd be super awesome and
Yep.
fun, especially 5v5. Like that. As somebody that doesn't have a main anymore, I would love that.
Yeah.
To be
Yeah.
able to just like cycle through people.
yeah, I mean, a great way to experiment with different characters. So for
I like
sure.
the idea of having a team I can line up and choose. I also love the idea just for that, again, for that chaos of having the ability to have it be randomized and you not know till you're mid-match who's going
Yeah.
to pop in.
It's great.
Yeah.
Be fun.
And then the final thing to talk about is Spirits mode, whatever this is.
Yeah.
Right.
Andre,
Obviously,
what
that's
do
where
you
he plays
think it is?
Luigi's Ghost.
Well, so that's the thing. Like, what do you think this actually is?
I mean, I think this is the game's version of its single player mode, whatever that might be. But I think it will hew closer to a proper story based thing, perhaps, you know, in the vein of, or the idea of Subspace Emissary. I don't think to that extent, but I think this very well could be, particularly given the fact that there's been a theme throughout these character trailers of people dying. We had Luigi dying. We had Mario and Mega Man speared by Ridley's tail. We also had the villain versus the protagonist angle. So I think this has all been kind of like leading together, or tying. I think they do tie together, particularly, or also even with the first reveal trailer, how it almost seemed like some kind of like purgatory or hell these
Darker,
characters. Yeah,
scary situation
right.
going on.
So I think they've been very, very coy or clever with how they've been going about this and showing off these characters. And I think these trailers might be cutscenes from this mode. So, you know, setting up for whatever that match might be.
So this is all Nintendo characters escaping from the Soul Stone.
basically,
Which
right.
sounds a little too dark. Like, I feel like with what we've been given, that makes a lot of sense. But I also feel like in 5 months' time, we might look back at this and be like,
What were we
were
thinking? Yeah.
crazy for putting together this narrative.
Yeah, I do think the fire thing. I mean, we talked about that dark original reveal trailer, but like, I think that flame existed so we could have the eye reflection, and it had to be dark for that reflection to make sense. I mean, that was one of the great reveals. That eyeball with the Smash logo appearing in the Squid Kid's eye. I think we might be reading too much into the
But think about
darkness.
every other trailer we've seen.
It's true.
Look
It's
at
been
Ridley's.
yeah, you're right.
Look at
It
K.
is pretty
Rules
fun.
even. Look at that, obviously.
And now
the
Spirits,
Simon
which would
Belmont's.
fit Death. I mean,
Exactly. So I'm like, it's just crazy enough to work.
yeah.
But I don't know. We have seen the lead into the K. Rool video of like all the heroes versus villains.
Right.
Kind of build up. I don't know.
And when Nintendo has taken whimsical takes on death before, and it could be a fun theme. The Journeys from the Underworld make good stories, and that gives you a great excuse to stick a bunch of characters that don't know each other together. Characters that if you're all dead, well, it's kind of like the inn in a D&D scenario. Like, why are all these people hanging out there? So they're going to adventure together. Well, if you're all suddenly dead, even if you died at different places at different times, you have a reason to band up and try to get out.
Yeah. The only other kind of weird evidence we've seen of this being that type of mode is Rathalos from Monster Hunter. When we see the dragon come in, it's on a completely flat stage
Right.
that doesn't have any platforms. Why would there be a Monster Hunter stage if there isn't a Monster Hunter character or a proper Monster Hunter stage? They said there was 103. We're only seeing this. We also saw a version of it from the Castlevania stage, and they mentioned that we might see Dracula in other places pop up.
Yeah.
We haven't seen bosses like that since Brawl's Subspace Emissary.
Correct. Yeah, the arena looks straight up as if it were from Subspace Emissary, where we had similar boss fights. So, yeah, I mean, it might be like a glorified boss rush type thing where you're fighting different characters throughout the series. Perhaps with the spirits angle tying in. I don't know how that works. Like, are you rescuing souls from these enemies and then putting them back in the bodies of the characters? I have no idea.
Well, it's weird too because Subspace Emissary was kind of the exact same plot that we're talking about, but
In
instead of
reverse.
being dead, it was people were being trophified,
Yeah.
and you had to get them back from being trophies. So
Right.
like, it's weird. The Smash Bros. Lore is so weird and like ridiculous when you think about it, because like going from Smash 64, which is essentially the story you get from that game, is there's a little kid playing with toys,
Right.
Yeah.
that you see in the intro, and then the final boss is the Master Hand, which is awesome. You move to Melee, it's a little bit more adult, you get the adventure mode and all that, but classic mode ends with now the two hands, like there's more control going on.
Yeah.
You move to Brawl, and it's like have you guys read the weird fan fiction shit about like
I've seen it.
Yeah.
what could be going on, where it's like, so there's the Master Heads, but then there's Taboo, which could be like the father of the kid, like taking away his toys or whatever.
And again, that's fighting game stories, though, right? I mean,
Yeah.
really, fighting games exist so we can have cool, interesting looking characters that feel different in combat, beating each other up. The story is there because we demand it when they become franchises, when they become long series. We just have to have lore, but it's inherently dumb, and that's okay. That's fine.
I mean, I think the dumber the better.
Me too. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. Enough of the predictions. Enough of the discussion going on. It is time for everyone's favorite game show. This week, we're doing mobile game or
Nintendo product.
It's mobile game or bullshit. It's a mobile game or bullshit. Joe's gonna read some stuff and we'll bend you up if it's a real game or not. Everybody.
All right, it's time for Mobile Gamer Bullshit. Today, Mobile Gamer Nintendo product. Now, I sit between two bona fide Nintendo experts. So, ladies and gentlemen, I did not go with the easy stuff here. I went a little deep into that Nintendo lore.
Oh, man.
I'm relying very heavily in particular on the work of the good people at BeforeMario.com, who chronicle Nintendo's toy-making history. And it's a long, as we know, Nintendo began largely as a Hanafuda company, a playing card company, and has since produced all kinds of products. So I'm going to ask you, I'm going to read you the name of a mobile game. I'm going to read you a tiny segment of that game's description from the iOS or Android stores. And then you're going to tell me whether or not that's actually a mobile game or whether that's bullshit and actually a Nintendo product.
Okay.
Okay, Kevin,
I
you
have
keep...
never won this, by the way.
Oh,
No,
shit. All
no,
right.
you-
So we're on
never.
a team then, right? Yeah, okay.
Kevin, will you please keep score? As Greg's not here to keep score as he normally does. There are 5 questions with a tiebreaker just in case. I think I'll allow our guest to go first, if that's all right with you, Tim. Chaotic cube, but it doesn't stay a cube for long. Chaotic Cube is the name of the mobile game, the description, but it doesn't stay a cube for long.
And that's all the info I get.
That's all the info you get. Is that
You
a mobile
decide,
game
Is it
Okay.
a mobile
or
game
a Nintendo product?
It's a mobile game.
It's a mobile game. Tim Gettys.
I'm gonna go mobile game.
Mobile game. Number 2, Tim Gettys. Monkey Magic. Line up and match 4 monkeys to keep the magic going. Monkey Magic.
See, this is where I get so caught up in my own head because I'm
Right?
like,
That's how this game
that
works.
description sounds like something Jared would make up.
Maybe I
making up
did.
a mobile game.
You don't know.
Oh man, I'm gonna go.
You don't know.
Wait, these exist either way, right?
They're
Mobile
real
game.
things.
Okay,
They're
just making
either
sure.
a mobile
All right.
game
I'm
or
okay.
Nintendo product.
I'm going Nintendo product.
Oh, man.
Nintendo product, he says. That's you.
What's it called again?
It's called Monkey Magic.
Monkey Magic.
The description, line up and match 4 monkeys to keep the magic going.
I'm going to go mobile again.
Mobile game. Number 3. Back to you, Andre. Lefty RX.
Jesus.
Lefty RX.
I feel like I want to go mobile again, but it's like the thing, it's like the Scantron thing.
Well,
You have too many in a row.
What's the
Oh,
description?
the description.
Oh, thank
Lefty
you.
RX. The Gordicon Empire must be stopped.
Mobile. Are these all just mobile? Like,
Mobile game.
I'm going mobile.
Tim Gettys.
Lefty RX is a Nintendo product.
A Nintendo product, he
It's a Nintendo
says.
product.
Number 4. Tim Gettys.
Yes.
Ultra Machine.
Fuck.
25th century mech warfare.
Nintendo product.
Nintendo product. Andre?
I'm going Nintendo too because they had the Ultra 64 before it was Nintendo 64, so and the Ultra Hand as well. So there's a history with the Ultra word there. So I'm going
What's the Ultra Hand?
It was an extendo hand they had, like you could use it to grab things 3 feet from you or so. It was like its own toy.
Number 5. Miracle Trump.
Miracle
Make 'em-
Trump.
With Miracle Trump. Yeah.
Miracle Trump. Make America great again.
This is a mobile game.
Mobile game.
Undeniably. It's not a Nintendo product. It's a mobile game.
But have you
Mobile
seen
game.
some of the games on the eShop recently though?
Oh, wait. You know what? No. It's a Nintendo product. It's a Nintendo
what
product.
I
You think
done.
so?
I'm going Nintendo product.
Whoa.
You're trying to play me, Jared Petty.
Look at that. Look at that, man. Nintendo product, he says. All right. And then we got the timer. Ladies and gentlemen, Chaotic Cube. But it doesn't stay a cube for long. Chaotic Cube is actually a toy by Nintendo. It is a puzzle toy. One of those little like hand puzzles made in the early 1970s, I believe.
we
late
both got that
1960s.
wrong.
Puzzle Cube. Kevin, what's that score?
0-0.
Number 2, Monkey Magic. Ladies and gentlemen, the late 1970s Nintendo arcade game, Monkey Magic, a Nintendo video game.
Oh,
Let's
man.
go.
That's right. A clone
shit.
of Breakout featuring a monkey face where the blocks would normally go.
How many times did they clone Breakout? Because Kirby had his own Breakout clone too. What
There
the
was a
hell?
lot of Breakout cloning went on back in the
I
day.
guess so.
There was a lot of that. They cloned for several years before they did too much original stuff.
Balloon
They're
fight.
Echo games.
Okay.
Yep, good point.
Score now, Tim, 1-0. Echo Games. I like that. That's really good. It's the name of my new game company. Number 3, Lefty RX. The Gordicon Empire must be stopped. Lefty RX is, in fact, a Nintendo radio-controlled car toy.
Yes.
Are these all Nintendo products?
Designed by Gunpei
I
Yokoi.
might win something.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, Lefty RX designed to, much like the Game Boy and other Nintendo products, to take an emerging technology but make it affordable and easy to use. So they stripped remote controlled cars down to a tiny size, just made it the simplest possible thing they could, and sold it for much less than other RC cars so kids could actually afford it.
Wow.
Much like, and that's kind of the Nintendo philosophy. And,
Yeah.
and they talk a lot of that again, our friends at over at beforemario.com. Number 4, Ultra Machine. You were correct. I pretended not to know the Ultra Hand, but actually, yes.
Nice.
Yeah. Ultra Machine, indeed. The Ultra Machine 25th century mech warfare. No, it is in fact a batting practice machine that throws baseballs at you and also comes with a wiffle bat. It's an electric baseball thrower like you get at a batting cage that you could buy for your home.
From Nintendo?
From Nintendo.
All right.
A toy.
I'll
by
take
Nintendo.
my point.
From the same era as the Ultra Hand.
Well, there it makes sense.
Yeah, they actually have a third Ultra item as well from that period.
Oh wow.
And finally, Miracle Trump. Make America great again. Trump, for those of you who have not lived in Japan, is the popular name for American-style playing cards in Japan. They are referred to as Trump. If you're
Trump
playing
card.
with like Trump cards. So if you're playing like with poker cards, those are called Trump in Japan. So Miracle Trump is a toy where you bought a deck of cards that came with a pair of sunglasses.
Oh my God. I got killed.
The sunglasses in the box, when you put them on, reveal hidden ink on the back of all the cards that shows you what the other guy is holding.
Oh.
So if you're a kid and you're wearing the sunglasses, you can see the invisible card markings and do magic
this.
tricks. Or you can use them to do magic tricks for your friends. Either way. That's Miracle Trump. Kevin, what's that score?
Holy shit! Tim Gettys has won.
Finally!
3-1.
Tim
It's
Gettys
been like 7 losses in a row.
has
I'm
won
glad I
his
could do that for you, man.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
first
Yeah.
ever
you.
game, a mobile game, or bullshit. Kevin, what's that song one more time?
It's mobile game or bullshit. It's a mobile game or bullshit. Joe's gonna read some stuff and we'll bend you up if it's a real game or not. Everybody.
And in case you didn't notice, those were all Nintendo products. there were no
you
mobile
really- and
games
it's
this
funny
week.
because you're like, these are all mobile games. Like, every week
So
I
what's funny
got
is once it got to number 5, I'm like, fuck, I'll give completely different answers to the entire thing. Going back. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I put them in order meanly.
Yeah,
like
that was very
There's
cruel.
definitely a lot of
Oh,
that.
I love it.
I really do try to trip y'all up occasionally.
What a fun episode of Kind of Funny Gamescast. I could talk about Smash Brothers forever.
Absolutely.
And you gentlemen are great people to do that with. Andre, where can people find you?
You can find me on Game Explain. Just type into Google. It'll take you right there. We cover all kinds of Nintendo products. I mean, everything Nintendo, basically, including Labo, Smash Brothers Ultimate. We do weekly discussions like we do with Smash Brothers Wii U and 3DS. We do in-depth analysis videos where we break down every trailer for like 20, 30 minutes sometimes and point out every secret that you can find in it. And yeah, we do discussions and just all kinds of Nintendo-related things. So check it out.
Definitely check it out. I'm a big fan of them over there. And Jared, do you want to pin anything? What you got
Sure.
going
Yeah,
on?
I'm going to be at PAX next week, both for Red Dead Radio Live and for, along with Greg Miller and several other friends, the Quest for the Perfect Superman game. Also be appearing at the Parrish Schneider Cup Intersite Championship.
I will be
Andre will be
too.
there too.
Andre, all
That's
right,
right, yeah.
there you go. I guarantee that I will lose to you. Yeah, all that going on. And then, of course, RedDeadRadio.com. Lots happening in the world of Red Dead. I hope you'll check that out and support the work we do there. Hot Blip and a Jump, the video essay series about, just how games are wonderful in every imaginable way. And you can find some of my work over right now. I'm doing a lot for IGN this month. So I've been a bit busy boy right now. Yeah, having a good month.
This is definitely up there as one of the longest Gamescast episodes we have ever done. I'm very happy about that. If you want the episode to not end yet, you can stay tuned to the post show that we're going to do. That'll be a little bit longer. You can be a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/kindoffunnygames to see that at your leisure. Until then, I love you. Thank you for watching that. Click here to subscribe to Kind of Funny Games. Click there to subscribe to Kind of Funny. Click there to support us on Patreon, and click here to support Kevin. His clip of the day.